Hey, bro.
Get on the fucking ground.
Hey.
Stop fishing. You're walking down the middle of the street.
Dude, I was literally on my way right here.
Get on the ground. Hands out. Down like an airplane.
Hold on.
Get on the ground. Don't even fucking put your hands out. Hands down on your belly. On your belly. Hands out on your belly. You fucking touch one of those guns, I'm gonna shoot you.
I am not touching. I'm just going
fishing.
I was on my.
You're walking down the middle of the street.
I was literally on my way to fishing,
Put your
man.
hands out. Keep your hands
Look,
out.
man.
Keep your hands
I'm not, dude.
You were not fishing.
I was on my way to fishing right here, bro.
Down the middle of the street. That's not
Look,
fishing.
man. I'm on my way to fishing. Look,
back there.
I'm 100 yards, less than 100 yards.
Fishing back there.
I was on my way to fishing. I was on my way to fishing. It's to and from, sir. I don't know what your deal is. I'm not touching anything. I don't know what your deal is.
You cuff him up real quick.
I would like to call my lawyer. I don't consent to any search or seizures of my property.
Okay. Right now, you're not fishing though. You're walking.
You're absolutely right.
When I saw you.
I hurt you, buddy.
Were you
Hey,
how's it going, guys?
If you want, we can do this civilly.
Yes or
You can
no?
take all my fire. Do whatever you got to do.
Listen to me. I'm trying not to hurt you.
Were you fishing? Yes or no?
I was on my way to
You
fishing.
were not fishing. You were walking down the
Stop,
side of
cops.
the road trying to instigate this.
On my way to fishing.
Okay, but you're not fishing when you're.
It's.
All right, so although I'm a California and Texas lawyer, I'm always interested in anything that has to do with the Second Amendment. And so tonight I was able to, actually after my workout this morning, I saw this deposition pop into my stream with this Florida cop. And I thought, you know, a lot of the guys in my stream, especially pro pers, probably would love to learn about how to take a deposition and how they work. And so I thought this is going to be a real opportunity. Good seeing you, Copser 5150 and Salt Shaker. This will be a really good opportunity for me to teach you guys with no experience, so you kind of get an understanding of what us lawyers have to deal with. And so this, although I'm only licensed in Texas and California, this is a case about open carry in Florida. So I'm going to do my diagnostics based upon it being California law, because California is the biggest state. So I figure I'll be able to help the most people. What's going on, Group 2FA? Yes, Solo Yacker. Yes, man, that's right. You're right. So this is going to be a really cool show for you guys, because it's not just going to be me playing a bunch of cop watcher videos, but in Florida. So it used to be in California you could open carry. But, you know, since the communists took over California with illegal alien voters, they were able to flip the state completely blue. So you'll never be able to have probably open carry there again. But in Florida, you still do have that. And, you know, hopefully the 20 million illegals that they flooded into the country will be able to get rid of them. So, because we know that they use them, they register them to vote at the DMVs, and then they give them free stuff, so they'll vote for free stuff. And obviously the politicians that are giving them free stuff aren't the pro-Second Amendment politicians. But in Florida, open carry of firearms is generally prohibited. But there are exceptions for specific activities, including hunting and fishing. And that's what this video is going to be about. According to Florida statute 790.25 sub 3 sub H, you are allowed to open carry a firearm while engaging in fishing, hunting, or camping, or when going or returning to these activities. So that's going to be the critical point of this video today, when we learn how to take a video based upon returning or going to the activity. So this means that open carry is permissible during these activities or during direct travel to or from, all right? But you can't make stops, and you can't go shopping or refuel, anything like that. So it's kind of stupid. I mean, the Second Amendment has just been totally destroyed, unfortunately, by the Marxists who want to disarm us. But there's still, at least, you know, there are a little battles going on here and there, and Florida's one of the states. And I don't want to get too far into it, but tonight we're going to show you this arrest. We're going to show you the actual deposition of when he's suing this cop for drawing down on him while he's engaged in a protected activity that's protected under Florida statute. And then I'm going to get into the different types of objections that you could make at a California deposition. I'm not going to get into Florida, but I'll sort of mirror what his attorneys are doing, his attorney is doing at the deposition and opposing counsel. And I'll sort of narrate and explain to you what the different rights are and the different things that you can and can't do at a deposition as a pro per or as a lawyer. Because a pro per is just someone representing themselves. You guys understand that, right? Improper person, impropria persona. What's going on, Lawyer Dog? Good seeing you, bro. But I'm filming in vertical, so because about 80% of people now that watch videos use their phones. And I know you old codgers like me to film in horizontal, and I know I've lost a few people because of that. But hopefully, you know, you'll start using your phone to watch me because you'll get more out of it that way. I know a lot of you guys are in front of your laptops. Just bear with me and try to go along with the program. Double tap the screen. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button. And give me some love as we go through the show. Anybody who wants to give me a super chat or buy a copy of my book, your comments go to the front of the line. If you have comments or questions as we go along with the procedure and the program tonight. But this particular video, this is a guy in Florida, and you can see there's his AR on the ground. And I'm going to replay it for you a little bit since we started a little bit early, so you can see the initial confrontation between him and this thug cop who is clearly in violation of Florida law, who cares more about his supposed officer safety than he cares about the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So let's get into it. And I'm sure all the lefties are thrilled, right? Because somebody who's trying to support the Constitution is being drawn down on. They always love that. But for you people who love natural law and the Bill of Rights, hopefully you'll have a different point of view. But let's watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is a man who is walking with an AR-15 that he has, you know, with a carrying strap on it, sling. He's not holding the weapon in his hands. He's carrying like a pro-American flag, and he's got a fishing pole, and with one hand he's got his hand over the flag pole, in the other hand he has a fishing rod, and then he has at sling arms, I think left sling, he has his AR, and it looks like a pretty nice AR-15 to be honest. But let's watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about to give it context before we get into the actual deposition. So sit back and strap yourselves in, guys, because you're going to learn a lot tonight from a real lawyer with about 20 years experience as a lawyer, and prior to that as a paralegal and a law clerk. And I've got a lot of experience. I've done thousands of depositions in my lifetime. And so I'll give you the perspective of a deposition taken as if it was in California. So let's go ahead and get into this video, and then we'll walk you into the lawsuit and the deposition of the cop that drew down on him.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Hey, bro.
Get on the fucking ground.
Hey.
Stop fishing. You're walking down the middle of the street.
Dude, I was literally on my way right here.
Get on the ground. Hands out.
What's up, Bruce?
Down like an airplane.
Good seeing you, man.
Hold on.
Get on the ground. Don't even fucking put your hands out. Hands down on your belly. On your belly, hands out.
What's the
on
matter,
your
you?
belly. You fucking touch one of those guns, I'm gonna shoot you.
I am not touching. I'm just
You're
going
not
fishing.
fishing.
I was on my.
You're
I was-
walking down the middle of the street.
I was
You're not
literally-
fishing.
Honestly, look at what he's doing to this guy's AR. You can hear it scraping against the ground. That has me, every time I hear that bluing being scraped off of his front sight tip and off of that beautiful AR, it literally makes me sick to my stomach. Look at that collapsible stock. Those are illegal in California. Beautiful weapon, just absolutely gorgeous. Give me a bunch of ones for a beautiful AR-15. I'm assuming it's direct impingement. I like piston driven better, but what do you guys like? While we watch the video, what do you like better for your AR? Do you like piston or do you like direct impingement? I'd like to know. Let me know. Bunch of ones for piston, bunch of two for DI. Tell me about it as we watch the video.
I was literally on my way to
Put
fishing,
your
man.
hands out. Keep your hands
Look,
out.
man.
Keep your
I'm
hands
not, dude.
out. You were not fishing.
I was on my way to fishing right
You're
here, bro.
walking down the middle of the street. That's not
Look,
fishing.
man. I'm on my way to fishing.
You weren't
That
fishing
look,
back
I'm
there.
I'm 100 yards, less
You
than
were
100
not
yards.
fishing back there.
I like
I
piston
was
too.
on my way to
You're not
fishing.
fishing.
I was on my way to fishing. It's to and from, sir. I don't know what your deal is. I'm not touching anything. I don't know what your deal is.
You cuff him up real quick.
I would like to call my lawyer.
Hands going back in.
I don't consent to any search or seizures of my property.
Right
And
now, you're not fishing though. You're walking.
I was,
down the street.
you're absolutely
You were not
right.
fishing when I saw
I
you.
don't want to hurt you, buddy.
Were you
Hey,
fishing? Yes or
hey,
no?
if you want, we can do this civilly.
Yes or
You can
no?
take all my firearms, do whatever you got to do.
Listen to me. I'm
I'm-
trying not to hurt you.
Were you
I'm-
fishing? Yes or no? When
I was
saw
on
you,
my way to
you
fishing.
were not fishing. You were walking down the side of the road trying to instigate this.
On my
What
way
you
to
do.
fishing.
Okay, but
It's-
you're not fishing when you're.
You have to understand the law. Sir, let me roll over. My shoulder, I have bad shoulder issues, man.
Okay, let's go
I have
nice
bad
and slow.
shoulder issues. I've got
Nice and
shoulder
slow.
impingement syndrome.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fight you guys because at the end of the day,
What's your name?
So I think what that is the Gadsden flag, which of course the leftists try to say is racist, but basically it has a rattlesnake and it says, "Don't tread on me." And that was a message to the king. Don't tread on our rights or we'll bite you like a rattlesnake. And of course, we know the public school teachers and the Marxist college professors hate stuff like that. And anything that's pro-America, they just say it's racist and try to dismiss it. But what a disgrace that they made him put that Old Glory and the Gadsden flag on the ground. For that, both those cops should be imprisoned for allowing Old Glory to touch the ground like that. What a disgrace. If it was me and I was a peace officer, I would have at least grabbed that flagpole out of his hand to make sure the colors didn't touch the ground. Give me a bunch of ones if you think those cops should be fired from their jobs for allowing the colors to touch the asphalt. Give me a bunch of ones for that. Give me a bunch of ones a bunch of twos if you think it's okay to disrespect Old Glory and the Gadsden flag.
if you can tell me what crime I've committed,
We'll get to
Open carry is illegal in Florida, and I understand you think because you're fishing, but you weren't fishing. You're walking
I
down
was
the
on-
sidewalk.
you have to understand the law, sir.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Can,
Relax.
I'm not. Hey, you have to take. It's going to be impossible to take that off because unless you got a screw, it's only because my handcuffs are on. I'm not fighting with you guys.
All right, so stand by really quick. My daughter just made a comment that I need to announce my show. So just let me give my announcement, guys. I'm trying to teach her how to do a podcast, and she's over here giving me cues. So let's kick it off. And by the way, I'm Michael Eline. I am a pro-Second Amendment attorney licensed in California and Texas. My associate, Alan Beck, is friends with Dick Heller, as am I. That's Heller versus District of Columbia. And he has argued multiple Second Amendment cases before the Ninth Circuit and won. And I absolutely support the unalienable right of all free men to keep and bear arms and protect your families from all enemies, foreign, especially domestic. And so hopefully you'll like this show. And let me just kick it off really quick. By the way, I also do personal injury and mainly motorcycle accidents, truck, bus accidents. And that's how I support my family. And occasionally we get a decent Second Amendment case. And the money that I make, the proceeds that I make, the profits that I make from personal injury law enables me to help fund these other things that are my passion. Because you don't really make a lot of money as a Second Amendment rights lawyer in this country. So let's keep it going. To another edition of Ask Michael Eline. This is where I teach people the law in an unorthodox manner by using examples that we see in the news, case law briefs, but it's all about exposing the Leviathan and its instrumentalities and taking back your rights. Know the law and mean to keep it well. Come here to learn from an expert to know your right. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because we never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. That's right. We never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. You know that the thought police that run this channel and run Google probably hate me, but I'll do my best to keep the channel going. And if necessary, we'll move it over to Patreon when it's time, guys. But in the meantime, learn as much as you can. Tonight, we're going to learn about what happened to this gentleman who was completely obeying Florida law, simply traveling to a place to fish while carrying his AR and a Gadsden flag in Old Glory. And these dudes, these cops, these jackboot thugs, they allowed Old Glory to touch the ground, which just, to me, is treason as far as I'm concerned for supposed law enforcement officers to allow Old Glory to touch the ground. It makes me sick to my stomach. Now let's go ahead and keep watching what happened.
But I'm letting you know, this is.
Yeah, you're doing this, and
No,
to
I do
instigate a
this.
lawsuit is what I'm
I
doing.
do this because other cities
Where
where
are
I've
you?
been,
Fishing down there.
Right,
at
I'm-
Ocean
I'm-
and Dixie. You're not fishing right now, sir.
I'm
You
on
weren't
my
fishing.
way to fishing.
Okay, you were not
The-
fishing when
the
I saw
law-
you with
Irrelevant.
firearms.
The law says while I'm going to and from fishing, hunting, camping, it's under the law. I was on my way. I'm 50 yards away from where I was going fishing, and right now.
And that's true. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for all y'all who are Floridians. Just give me 1 second. Go ahead and check it out. It's Florida Statute 790.25 sub 3 sub H. So go ahead and take a look at that. That's the law. He's absolutely right. He's doing everything pursuant to the law. And these scumbag cops are just harassing him and violating his rights up and down the street and dragging him through the gutter. And that's what's going on right now. That's what's happening. Let's watch it.
Now you guys are treating me like like I'm a criminal, like I've done something. You pointed guns at me, and I'm not doing anything to anybody.
Not fishing, sir.
I'm on my way to fishing right now. I came from an hour north of here to go fishing right here. That's that. I go around the state of Florida. I go around the state of Florida. That's what I'm saying. You can do it. I do not consent to any search or seizures of my property. Please, it's loaded. I do not consent to this. Any of it.
No worries.
Looked like he had a handgun too. Based upon the nomenclature, I would say that that's a Beretta. I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't. That's the best look I could get at it. Let's see if we can back it up a little bit. Back that Beretta up. I think it was a Beretta. Let's take a look.
Law says while I'm going to and from fishing, hunting, camping, it's under the law. I was on my way. I'm 50 yards away from where I was going fishing, and right now you guys are treating me like I'm a criminal, like I've done something. You pointed guns at me, and I'm not doing anything to anybody.
Not fishing, sir.
I'm on my way to fishing right now. I came from an hour north of here to go fishing right here. That's that. I go around the state of Florida. I go around the state of Florida. That's what I'm saying. You can do it. I do not consent to any search or seizures
look,
of my
look.
property. Please, it's loaded.
What do you
I
think?
do not consent to
I thought
this.
it was a Beretta. I'm not
Any of
totally
it.
sure now. Could be a Glock 19.
If you can uncuff me, I'm not going to resist. You can take the fire.
Now, by the way, the colloquy that he's having, the admissions and confessions that he's making, that's not something I would do. He's giving them information that they can use against him later. All he has to do is maintain his right to remain silent. It's obvious based on the evidence that he's walking to a place to fish. I guess it's okay to verbalize that I'm going fishing, but after that, other than saying I don't consent to any searches, I think that he needs to keep his mouth shut.
I'm just going to get it back. I'm letting you know right now what you're doing is unlawful, and to basically your immunity that you do have at this point, 790.25, Section 3, subsection H of the Florida state statute allows me to, while I'm fishing, hunting, and camping, going to
That's
and
right,
from
Kevin. It's a big mistake.
An event.
Kevin makes a valid point. Kevin Bernarski says that saying that he goes all over the state, that's the wrong thing to say. And I agree. You don't want to make admissions and confessions because later a jury could use that to try, and the defense attorney could use that to try and insinuate that you're just a troublemaker, right? You're trying to get a rise out of the cops. When in reality, he's just a Second Amendment auditor trying to make sure that the government honors his right to keep and bear arms. Yeah, Bruce R. said it right. They'll think that he's trying to bait them into a lawsuit, and that implies they know it's legal and they know it, but because otherwise it'd be just an arrest period. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I just think that it's you got to be really, really careful when dealing with these guys because the defense attorney and the cops are going to take anything you say and use it against you. And they're going to be looking at tone of voice, demeanor, personality, and use any of that they can to protect themselves. to protect themselves and serve themselves. That's what they do. Government employees, they don't care about us. They care about their employee unions and how much money they can fleece from us. Hopefully, Elon Musk with his Doge thing can find a way to shrink the size of the bureaucracy. I still don't understand why it's legal for government employees to have a union. They already have the most powerful union on the planet, the government. And all that union does is serve as a tool to launder money into political campaigns for people who will make sure to give them more of your money. And that's another reason why we need to abolish the administrative state. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. Let's keep going.
I'm not trying to resist. This is a bunch of, this is, why? What did I do? What did I do to anybody? I didn't do anything.
Relax and we'll work through this, okay?
It's about, you should know the law.
The sergeant just started explaining this to me.
Explain it to you, not me. I understand the law. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing.
That's the question. I'm trying to answer.
Can you take me out of these cuffs? My shoulder is starting to hurt, man.
Not yet. Can you sit on your butt?
No,
Would that be
dude.
more comfortable?
My shoulder. I have shoulder impingement syndrome. My shoulder. The longer it sits behind my shoulder in these predicaments, it makes my shoulder even worse than it is.
Stand by for a minute. And I'll get the cuffs off. We'll get the rest of the stuff off. Okay?
Come on, man. This is. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just trying to go fishing, man.
Okay.
That's all I was trying to do. I'm not hurting anybody.
Do you really think it's appropriate with a
It's
right there?
my friggin' Second Amendment right trumps anybody's friggin'.
Do you really think it's appropriate with the park right there to exercise your unalienable rights? What do you guys think? Do you think it's appropriate to exercise your unalienable rights when there's a park nearby? I'd like to know what you guys have to say. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that it's okay to exercise your unalienable rights near a park. Give me a bunch of twos if you think there's an exception as to when and where you should be able to exercise your unalienable rights. I'd like to know what my audience thinks.
Feelings. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry about people's feelings. I'm not. You can take the rifle. You can do whatever you want, which I don't agree to because I'm not. I'm just saying. Right now, my shoulder is starting to really hurt.
Stand by 1 minute. Let me get this.
Ah.
And then we'll get you up and we'll resituate you, okay?
Come
So
on.
hold on a minute. I got breaking news here from Greg B. Lane Myers was held in contempt. So this is something that I was telling you guys the other day. If this is true, and I don't doubt Greg B. because Greg B. is a stand-up guy. This is what I've been trying to teach my audience and my friends is stop popping off in court, stop cutting people off mid-sentence, stop pissing off the judge. All you're going to do is make it hard on yourself. If you act civil, behave civilly, sugar is going to get you more than salt. And being held in contempt is no joke. And you can also start being treated as a vexatious litigant and ultimately lose your right to even go to court. And that's what the administrative state loves to do with pro per litigants. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's a really big deal. We'll do a show probably tomorrow night about this, Greg, and we'll try to figure out what's going on with Lane. As you guys probably know, I've donated money to Greg because or not Greg, to Lane Myers, and I want nothing but the best for him. And I've also reached out to you guys to let you know that I'm willing to help him out with civility and procedure so this kind of stuff doesn't happen to him. Because I think the guy's really smart and I think he could be a first-rate litigator. But again, breaking news, looks like Lane Myers was found in contempt. There's two types of contempt. There's criminal and civil contempt. This was probably civil contempt because you can hold an immediate hearing for a civil contempt case. Criminal contempt requires a little bit more. But yeah, Lane Myers got arrested today, Ghostman says. That's too bad. Greg doesn't seem to like him too much, but they say he's a pro se idiot, but he's actually a dope-smoking amateur lawyer who is killing it against a corrupt system. Well, whatever he's doing, I was impressed by a lot of the things that Lane did. I just think that he needs to stop popping off and cutting people off mid-sentence. You're not going to ever win. You don't win by winning over people. You win by winning them over, right? That's how you want to win people over, not win over them. People that constantly try to cut you off, when they do that to me, I'll just start talking over them. Because, you know, clearly they know they're losing, so the only thing they can do is just keep talking. So I'll just keep talking too, because I'm not going to deal with somebody who's rude and abusive and, you know, constantly tries to come up with red herring arguments that are clear bullshit. You know, and obviously the court doesn't want that. But anyways, let's get into this video. I'm really sorry to hear about what happened to Lane, but I kind of knew it was going to happen. I told you guys that it was going to happen. And everybody said, oh no, you have to have a hearing, you have to do all that. I'm like, where are you guys getting this information? And where are you getting this thing about 122H? There's no statute rule. There's no Supreme Court rule that I could find about 122H. You always, always, always have to have the presiding judge's permission to record, whether it's audio or video. No one's been able to show me these mysterious statutes. And I'm a lawyer, guys. I do my research. He got permission from the head judge, and that's why he was allowed to record. There was no secret little rule or 122H or whatever it was. We even called the courthouse because you guys were so sure that he had all this amazing knowledge about some obscure rule. And there may be a local rule somewhere, but I couldn't find it. But anyways, let's get back into this video.
Man, if I was trying to run or if I was a criminal, would I be doing something stupid?
You have a lot of coffee today?
No, man. What are you talking about?
What?
Coffee.
I want to see it.
Right now, my shoulder is like throbbing right now.
I heard you, and as soon as I get this off, stand by. Ready? Up. There you go. Is that better?
No, man. Like I said, dude, it's about my shoulder and where.
Yeah, absolutely. What's going on with it?
Nothing, man.
Tightness or?
No, dude, I've got shoulder impingement syndrome, man.
Okay.
Come on, man. My shoulder, dude. That's a problem, man. That's a problem. Come on, man. Why? I'm not trying to go nowhere.
Okay, we're perfect. Relax. We're just trying to get this off you so your shoulder won't be an issue.
Come on, man. My left shoulder. Come on, man.
You getting back in cuffs?
You put me. I'm getting my firearms back, dude.
I'm gonna put 2 cuffs on you, so to make sure you got some space.
Come on, dude.
Do you have any other weapons on you, sir?
Just my handgun and my rifle. That was it.
Okay.
Maybe there might be like a fillet knife or something that I use for fishing. But like I said, I'm just fishing. Oh, come on, man. Can I call my lawyer? I need to call my lawyer because he needs to understand that you guys are violating my rights right now.
Now let's try to sit up on your posterior. I think that'll be more comfortable for you. Appreciate your cooperation.
I'm not trying to fight you guys, dude. I'm not doing anything unlawful. I'm not doing anything
He's
unlawful,
not.
and you guys are treating me like a criminal. Is your body cam going?
I do not have a body cam.
Please, one of you guys, turn your body cams, turn your phone on because.
You got your GoPro on, so.
Well, I don't know if it's on right now because I was just walking to go fishing. I usually use it to record me catching fish.
How you doing?
I'm living the dream, bro. Living the dream, man.
My name's Tom Mitchell. I'm the commander. Let me get filled in what's going on, and then I'll come talk to you, all right?
Look, man.
Chill out and relax. Everything
Dude,
will be all right.
my shoulder.
What's the matter? Go ahead. Talk to me.
Dude, my shoulder. I have shoulder impingement syndrome, and my shoulder right now is throbbing.
Okay. I'm not quite sure what that means, but
I have a shoulder issue.
In the front, all right?
Yeah. Can we? I'm not going. You're gonna end up giving
we're not letting them loose. Just bring them in the front.
my firearms are getting handed back to me, and I'm gonna go about my fishing day.
So this is a problem, you know, the talking back, all that stuff, that doesn't fly with a jury, guys. I just want you guys to understand something. If he really thinks that he's going to be successful in court and get the maximum damages, he's already alienating about half the jury, right? The best way to deal with law enforcement is to be respectful and let the jury see that you were not a threat. But by telling them, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to get all this money, you're giving me my guns back, that makes the jury think that you're a punk. I'm just telling you, as a lawyer, don't do that kind of stuff. It's pointless. All it does is make you look bad to a potential jury. Remember, 99% of these people in this world need to be told what to do. and they automatically assume that the cops are in the right. But if you act humble and meek, they're going to see that you weren't a threat. If you act like you're a threat, you're going to be perceived as a threat. Just think about it, guys. I'm just trying to help you. I'm not trying to judge the guy or put him down. I want to help him. That's why I'm showing you guys this video, so you don't make these same mistakes, and hopefully he'll learn too and listen to what I'm saying, and he doesn't make the same mistakes as well again in the future.
You're probably 100% correct.
Yeah, I know I'm 100% correct because I do this across the state of Florida.
I know you probably do.
I do.
Yeah, just bring them in front. That's all right.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm not running from you. I'm not going to do nothing.
Everything's going to be all right.
I have respect
I'll take
for
a look,
law
122A.
enforcement.
Tremendously.
And you know something, you guys?
2A.
You have been. Yes, you pointed a gun at me, dude. Are you kidding me?
I had my gun out.
What? No, it was pointed at me. My video would show it, and I wish you had a video camera. All I can
right now.
Look, man, dude, you're tightening it, not loosening it. I'm not trying to go nowhere. I'm not. I'm not. Dude, at the end of the day, you're just handing me firearms back, and I'm gonna go about my day of fishing.
Okay, cool.
You guys are a bunch of. Dude, my shoulder.
So, just really quick, Group 2FA app says that he sent me a link to my Yahoo address, but there's nothing here, dude. circleoflegaltrust@yahoo.com. But just so you guys know, Rule 122 is an Arizona Supreme Court rule, and it simply says if you want to film in Arizona courts, you have to get permission from the head judge, the presiding judge of the courthouse. Whether it's audio or video, you must always get permission unless there are extenuating circumstances. In this case, Lane Myers did get permission in advance. It's not about giving notice. You have to give notice and also get permission. Okay, that's the way it works. You have to give notice, and then you have to receive approval. You don't just give notice and assume that you can go in and record. That's not how it works. But if you guys have information otherwise, I'd love to see it. So far, a lot of people have said they're going to send me this proof, but I haven't gotten anything, nothing. So I'm still waiting for it, and I'd love to see it because I had my offices called the clerk of the Arizona Supreme Court, and we were told the same thing. And we couldn't find this mysterious 122H rule either. There just wasn't anything that we could find. I mean, we looked everywhere, high and low, because I want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. The next thing I'm going to do is look in my spam folder really quick, see if there's anything. Ah, here we go. Got it. Okay, I see it now. Westlaw. Okay, I'm going to keep playing this now that I see it. I got it, brother. I see it. It was in my spam folder. I'm going to keep playing this, and then I'm going to read this, guys.
My shoulder, man.
Down here.
Can you leave me up against your car or something, man? Like, my shoulder hurts, man. I'm not trying to go nowhere. I haven't done nothing.
You haven't tossed him? No. Okay. Do you have any other weapons on you?
No, I don't, man. I like I said, there might
Just
be
a wallet. What is the phone?
No, I have no wallet. I have no ID on me. All I have, I can prove I have a fishing license. Okay, perfect.
You said you had a fillet knife on you?
Maybe in the bag, but like I said, I don't know. Like, I just came out to go fishing today, man.
What was your name? Normal question.
Yeah, it's a normal question whenever you're not treated like you're in Nazi Germany.
Well, you're just being detained right now.
Detained with a gun pointed at me, bro?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
We can detain people like that.
You get with a gun pointed at him for doing nothing. For doing absolutely nothing, dude.
I never said that we could point guns at you for no reason, but I said that we
Well,
could point guns at you to detain
somebody
you.
pointed a gun at me for no reason because I was fishing.
We deal with a lot more stuff than you can imagine, okay, man?
Well, look, man, I'm sorry that somebody going fishing and expressing their Second Amendment right was something unlawful.
I completely agree with you. I think that your Second Amendment right is something you should have, and it should never be infringed. But at the end of the day, we're police officers.
Since you guys already have all that, and you know I don't have any other weapons, can I get a smoke too, man? Since you're smoking, can I smoke? Why not? Because you said what am I being detained for? Can you explain to me what I'm being detained for?
The sergeant was trying to explain it to you.
Nah, there's no explaining.
And he's going to be over in a minute, and he's going to explain everything to you.
This is crazy, guys. Pointing guns at people for doing nothing wrong. Do you have your phone on or whatever, your little GoPro or whatever?
No, sir.
Can you turn it on?
Equipped with a body camera, sir.
Do you have one? Do you have a phone? Turn it on, please. This is crazy, guys. Crazy.
Well, I'll be a hornswoggler. Group 2FA app. I've been bested here, and I wasn't trying to be right either, but I'm going to go ahead and drop this for you guys. Look, we looked all over the place. I'm going to show you guys right now. Even a lawyer is wrong sometimes. The rule is very clear that if you want to do audio recording in Arizona, hopefully I'm able to get the whole thing on there. Well, I'll read it to y'all real quick. So, here's the rule. And the reason why it's difficult to understand is because it is under Rule 122, but it's buried down here. This is really interesting, and it says, personal audio recorders. Required notice to the court. A person may use a personal audio recorder during a proceeding, but the person must notify the judge or the judge's staff prior to using the device. And that's what he did. That's what Lane did. A person who uses a personal audio recorder is not required to submit a request under paragraph C of this rule, but a person who wishes to record or broadcast it is. This is really amazing, because you can't get away with that in California, that's for sure. But the use of a personal audio recorder must not be obtrusive, distracting, or otherwise prohibited, and use is subject to the prohibitions of paragraph K. And then you go down to paragraph K. It just says that you can't do it while the judge is off the bench. It says that you can't audio record any of the jurors or their statements. You can't do any. You can't record attorney conferences. You can't record readable documents. Well, that would only be if it was video. And no juvenile proceedings can be recorded. A person whose request under this rule has been approved may photograph. Wow, this is really cool. Guys, this is, hey man, I'm impressed. Give me a bunch of ones for Lane Meyer, and give me a bunch of ones for Group 2FA app, man. 122H does exist, and I'm going to be having a conversation with the clerk of the Arizona Supreme Court, because we were told the exact opposite. Anyways, let's get back into this video really quick. Let's get into the tyrant cop. So I retract and I strike anything that I said about audio devices requiring prior judicial approval in Arizona court. It's right there. And this is a revised Arizona annotation that was provided to me by a non-attorney on my own channel. So that just goes to show you that, you know, even people that are allegedly smart can be bested and learn something new every day. So give me a bunch of ones for Lane Myers and Group 2FA app for teaching us a teachable moment today. Hey, Rami, good seeing you, man. Hey, Jody and William Hampton. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with Myers. You know, I support the guy. I think that he's really smart, and I think that he could be a stud, man, if he just learn how to cool the engines a little bit and let the other people say what they need to say before he speaks. You know, let the other guys say what they need to say. Man, that was really good, though. Group 2FA, where are you, by the way? Are you still in my chat? Oh no, dude, it's good, dude. I want you to be right, especially if I'm wrong. It's more important that, you know, we help correct each other if we're wrong. The issue is a lot of people are so concerned about being right that they'll stay in a permanent state of denial, as opposed to just simply understanding that, you know, we're human beings and that we're fallible. And even the best trained lawyers can make mistakes, but it's best to leave your ego at the door and try to understand and learn, you become a better lawyer and you become a better human being that way. By the way, guys, give me a bunch of ones for Group 2FA app. I know it says he's an app. I'm not sure who he is, but he's now an official moderator. So Group 2FA app, you've definitely earned your wrench, brother. You're the kind of people that I want in my chats. The kind of people I want moderating my channel. Somebody who does the research and, does the things that we need. You know, I need people like you around me. Look at those handcuffs too. Boys, those look dangerous. I don't know how you could break those. Anyways, let's watch some more of this video and then we'll get into the deposition.
I don't know. I asked the same question as I walked past it. Because once again, it's not that I just do this to try to antagonize people. I do this to let people know that they have rights still here in America. Especially here in Florida where they're trying to strip our rights.
What's up, Life Under? I sent you your book today, too, dude.
What's your first name, son?
Hey, Mia Starrett.
Cooperation, man. That's how we're...
It's not about cooperation. I've done nothing
Kinetic
wrong.
Customs.
Make sure your camera's on.
I can't. With handcuffs on?
Handcuffs on.
Can I get another I've got another camera in my bag. I need to go ahead and get it.
Get his bag. Just to make sure there's a camera in it.
I'm reaching right here. I'm touching.
Relax.
I do watch
I'm telling you to
Steve.
put your hands down and I'm telling you to relax. All right?
I do, Kinetic. I like his channel.
That's fine. Okay.
I'm gonna need everyone that showed up today.
I'm going to take care of everything for you. Do me a favor. I'm treating you with the utmost respect. I identified myself to you already. I am the commanding officer of the police department. I am here to make sure that your rights are being protected as well as my police officers.
What about my
I have
safety,
a
dude?
few-
I've had a gun pointed at me, dude. Gun
Let me
pointed
explain
at me.
something to you,
Gun
sir.
pointed at me.
And in today's society, you should realize, I understand you're within your perfect legal rights, sir. But you're here where children are and we had complaints. We're going to take the appropriate action.
In today's society where our government has flooded our country with over 20 million illegal aliens, right? Where they allowed the guys who flew the airplanes into the trade center to come in and get lessons to learn how to fly airplanes, where our government allowed illegal alien criminals, many of whom are escaped convicts from Venezuela, to come into the country. And then they say, well, you should know better. After we let all these criminals and people who are a threat to your culture and your society and your way of life, that your rights should be infringed upon. You should know better. That's the problem that I have with the whole open borders and giving them free things, because it allows the government to now say, you should know better, since we allowed all these people who are a threat to the American people to come in, that your rights should now be infringed upon. That's why we should have a legal immigration system where people stand in line, they learn about our customs and traditions, our Bill of Rights and our Constitution. We have 20% of the Nicaraguan population, a communist country, used to the concept of the government controlling them and telling them what to do in our country now. And once they have babies, they're going to be voting. And they register them to vote in the non-voter ID states at the DMV. So these are the people who are going to be eventually trying to vote to take away your rights. And this guy has the audacity to say, you should know better? Are you kidding me? Ridiculous.
To make sure you are doing what you're supposed to do. My primary concern is the public safety. Once we identified you, once we realize you're within your rights, we're letting you go.
Would you like
and that's
to
what
see
I'm
my
in the
fishing
process
license?
of doing.
Would you like to see my
Yes,
fishing?
I would.
Perfect. I need my phone.
I don't know where your phone is. And we're identifying you, and we're going to let you go. You have to understand that. If you've been through this before, you understand.
I was a trigger pull away from my life. A trigger pull because your officer doesn't understand that.
Because my officer was afraid of his safety, and he's not sure if you're here for these rights or you're here to hit some innocent children. That is what the officer was concerned with. Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I did like this.
Well, when
Never.
we're doing the best we can. We protect our town and our citizens, sir.
Great.
May I see your license, please?
I'm worried right now.
Well, they protect their town and their citizens who aren't trying to enforce their rights, obviously, because this guy is clearly within his rights. He's even carrying an American flag. He has his weapon slung, and he's got a flag in one hand and a fishing pole in the other. So that clearly gives a cue to the officer, the investigating officer, that he's engaged in fishing. He's not violating anyone. He's not drawing down on anyone. He's not a threat to anyone. No more of a threat than a wife-beating cop who's carrying a sidearm walking down the street every day.
Now I'm pulling up my fishing license
Very
for you
well.
right now. Saltwater shoreline. Saltwater shoreline fishing license allows me to go and carry while I'm sitting on the shoreline.
You're absolutely 100% correct. All right? And we're identifying you, we're verifying it, and we're going to let you go.
Dude,
Connie, since he's not happy with you,
I
Kenny,
need-
somebody, do me a favor.
I need
and
all
take
of you.
the information.
Please, your name and badge number, please, sir.
We're gonna, hold on, I'm the commanding officer here, and I will get you everything you want. Somebody please identify this gentleman so we can do a detailed report, and then I will provide him with everybody's name and ID number.
What's your first name, sir? Commander, can I see you for a second?
David.
I don't have
On his
to.
fishing license, get his fishing license.
So Kinetic Customs, tell me a little bit more. You're saying that Steve Lotto just announced that Ohio is trying to get enough signatures to get qualified immunity overturned, which I think is great. But we missed the rest. Are you saying that he's against that idea? I mean, to me, obviously, somebody who has the ability to take your life and allegedly is supposed to be. So, I think that I don't care about qualified immunity. I think that if an officer violates your civil rights, that should be a capital offense. It shouldn't be about you being able to sue them. Because I already know from having sued cops that have lost their qualified immunity that it's almost impossible to collect the award. They can hire a good bankruptcy attorney and get out of paying you anyways. The only way you're going to teach the jackboots in the administrative state that it's not okay to violate the rights of we the people is to simply make it a capital offense. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree. They'll stop violating your rights once they realize that your rights are worth more than life. And they are. Your unalienable rights are worth more than life itself. Under natural law, your rights come from a creator, not the government. And for them to impinge upon those rights, infringe, and then use as an excuse that they flooded the country with illegal alien criminals as a basis to take your rights away is absurd. And it needs to stop, guys. It's insane. Let's keep watching this video.
Identify him more for that. If he doesn't want to cooperate,
Yeah.
he must produce it.
I must produce fishing license. That's all I got to do. And your name?
Officer Vallis, Lantana Police Department, ID number 878.
I need to see. Let me just grab this for a second so I can see it. I can't see it from here.
No.
So just for a little fun before you guys ban this weirdo. So Triple X says, how dare you infringe on my right to chase children around the fishing pier with a gun? Clearly a leftist, right? So in law, we would say objection assumes facts, not an evidence. This is typical of what you would see on the Communist News Network, CNN, or PMSNBC, like a journalist, right? The same people who accuse you of disinformation or misinformation and try to ban you on social media. This guy's a prime example of those types of people. They just make up bullshit out of thin air. And then if you went to a public education system, you're totally like, duh, yeah, he's right. He's a newscaster. Duh. So there's an example right there, guys. Triple X, a typical commie Marxist coming on my channel, making up something that's complete bullshit, pulling it out of his butthole, just like Pete Buttigieg, and just making up complete, utter nonsense. Completely insane, right? Right, Rami? By the way, thanks for joining me, Rami, and Bruce R. Thanks for the laughs, brother. Love having you on here. David, that's the problem, David. When I'm in vertical mode, you don't have the like and subscribe button. So you've got to double tap the screen, and you've just got to figure out a way to subscribe to my channel. I'm sorry, guys. That's the downside with filming in vertical. But I want my audience to understand my goal isn't just to get a bunch of likes and subscribes. I'm shooting in vertical. I'm shooting in vertical because 80% of 80% of people who use the internet use their phones. And over 90% of the youth use their phones. They don't use computers. 90% of kids. And I want the youth, because the government gets them 8 hours a day to destroy their minds, try to tell boys that they're girls and girls that they're boys, tell them that it's okay to inject themselves and take baths filled with fluoride, destroy their bodies, tell them that it's okay to be overweight because they can give them drugs, that they can put them on for the rest of their lives through the pharmaceutical industrial complex. And I want to get to those kids and teach them, no, that's wrong. That's not how we do it at Team MPE. We go to the gym, we exercise. You guys see my lawyer workout videos that I try to do in the morning. I get up at 5:30. I get out there while it's still dark. And I want to get the young people out there to understand there's another way to do this. Rebel. Use your spirit of rebellion like our founding fathers did. That's why I'm filming in vertical, to try to get the youth, brother. But just do your best to support my channel, because you're never going to find a lawyer like me who is so hardline pro-America. They don't exist. I'm sorry. They just don't. They're all too terrified, and I'm not terrified. Let's keep watching.
What's your name, sir?
Young, 789.
Do you guys take an oath?
Absolutely.
You just violated somebody's. Almost killed somebody today. Can I smoke now?
Ask him permission for what?
I'm glad you're smiling about it, man. I'm glad you learned something today. I'm glad you learned about friggin' not violating somebody's constitutional rights, dude.
So I really do have to take exception. So for me, there's no such thing as constitutional rights. There are God-granted rights. There are natural rights that come from your Creator. And a few of them were outlined in the Bill of Rights. The Constitution is an instrument that's designed to bind the government to prevent them from violating your rights. It's the first document in history that limits the power of government instead of telling you how much control and power the government can have. Now, I know the Marxist leftists that control our academic institutions don't like that, but that's the reality of the situation, is that the Constitution is designed to bind the government with the chains of the Constitution. And the Bill of Rights is just simply a mention, a snapshot of a few of the most important rights that we were born with inherently as Americans. So hopefully you guys understand the difference. So I always have a problem with people saying constitutional rights. No, they're God-granted rights. Give me a bunch of ones if you agree that we have God-granted rights and that John Locke was basically the guy who led the way, like the Rangers, right? Even though I'm a Marine, Rangers lead the way. John Locke led the way, and Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and anti-federalists like him simply were natural law advocates like me, like Chile de Castro and a few others. And that's what it's all about. I'm an anti-federalist, but that's another conversation for another day. Let's finish watching this and let's get into the deposition, because that's going to be the fun part.
Yeah, because I'm not hurting nobody. That's the number one thing, is that I would have protected people instead of hurt people. I do this across the state of Florida, bud.
Yeah, because you're trying to audit.
No, I don't try to audit people. I try to make sure people's rights.
Who cares?
Friggin', they have the right.
Exactly.
You got my business card? Let me
No,
write
I
his
have
name on the back. I gave you the business card.
So we're going to watch this guy's deposition in a few minutes.
I really wish you wouldn't try to take somebody's life when you don't know the law. When you point a gun at somebody, yeah, you might want to step off, dude.
So pay attention to how aggressive this cop. Hold on, let me see if I can get him back over here for you. Man, it's really hard to get him just right, but well.
Dude, all I can say is that you try to take somebody.
This guy right here. Pay attention to how aggressive this guy is. He was cussing, swearing, pointing, drawing down on our Second Amendment rights. advocate.
His life, that's fucking bullshit. Bullshit.
Turning his back, thinks
I
it's
don't point
funny.
gun.
He looks real scared, right? I mean, right? He's got his back to this supposed guy who's chasing kids on a playground, right?
To anybody. I've never tried to take on somebody's life.
By the way, look at that car. I mean, Jiminy Christmas. I mean, all those cars there. I would say that this illegal investigation probably cost the city of Lantana close to $30,000 right there, just in that little interaction. Taxpayers had to pay that, even though there's a law on the books that says you have the right to openly carry a firearm while you're walking to and from your fishing destination.
Life. Only trying to defend my life, and you're within a trigger pull of my life. I'm glad you smile about it, because that's how serious that is.
Mr. Teller. Let's get Mr. Teller's equipment back to him.
Yeah, just put it on the ground. When you leave, I'll pick it up, because I don't want to be like, oh, he's picking it up and I get shot. I'm not trying to deal with none of that. You just stick it on the ground, do whatever you got to do.
All right. This is me.
Yep.
My phone number. Sergeant Litigants, Officer Young, Officer Balance. Any questions, sir? By all means, feel free.
Make sure there's a report. I need a report.
I'm going to have a detailed report.
Because you're going to get a FOIA request tomorrow.
The report's not going to get
Or
submitted
until Monday.
Later. Yeah, Monday would be best.
So just another issue I want to point out to you guys is FOIA is the Federal Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. So that's something like you auditors need to start thinking. And look, I got schooled tonight about 122H, so I'm not going to lie, we all make mistakes. But this is a real correctable mistake. FOIA is the Federal Freedom of Information Act. States have their own public records request laws. So get it right, guys. Like if you're gonna talk about it, at least be educated about it. And if you find out you're wrong, don't argue that you're right. Just admit it and move on, move forward, because we all make mistakes. We all do. All right, let's keep going.
All right. But
You'll know who I am and all the good stuff, and I'm letting you know it's getting FOIA requested tomorrow.
No problem, sir.
Or Monday.
Sir, no problem. You do what you feel you have to do.
Dude, it's my...
I understand. You've expressed it to me before. I could talk to him blue in the face. You could talk. My officers did what they felt was right, and then we're making it right now.
Almost killing somebody. We're
doing the best we can.
Yeah, dude, make sure somebody's doing something wrong.
You, Lieutenant. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Feller. You best have a good day.
I was trying, man.
I apologize.
Hey, wait, hold on. Triple X, tell me that you're a Marxist Democrat without telling me you're a Marxist Democrat. Look at this comment. These wackos look for loopholes that allow them to terrorize children legally. That's their only purpose. I mean, he sounds like a public school teacher to me. Give me a bunch of ones if he sounds like a typical college professor, public school teacher, or school board member. Think about it. Give me a bunch of ones if you think that. Give me a bunch of twos if you think that this guy is a conservative libertarian. Anyways, let's keep watching.
You best have a good day.
I'm trying. I was. So I got guns pointed at me.
Rami, just. But Wassa, if he was a law and order type, then he would be all about enforcing the Florida statute that says you have the right to carry your weapon to and from your fishing destination. That's what law and order is all about in my mind. But, we can disagree, man. By the way, don't mess with my buddy What's the Matter You. He's my homeboy. And if everybody on my channel agreed, we wouldn't have much of a channel or much of a country, to be honest. All right, so we've seen that part, and so I started the show a little bit early because I kind of knew this was going to take a little longer than I wanted. But now we get to have the real fun. Now we get to have the real fun. So just give me 1 second. So here's the fat body cop. There he is, guys. Give me a bunch of ones for the fat body cop who drew down on our fisherman who was legally carrying his firearm to or from his fishing destination. So here he is, and now we're going to get into depositions. And so tonight, what I'm going to do is I want you guys to understand this is about a civil lawsuit that his lawyer in Florida has filed against this cop, and I guess the police department, because the cop violated Florida statute 790.25 sub 3 sub H, which gives you the right to openly carry a firearm while engaged in fishing, hunting, or camping, or when going to or returning from such activities. And that's the law, and that's why they let him go, because, well, they clearly knew that's what he was doing, but, you know, they wanted to flex and prove what Marxist commies they were, because that's something that Joe Stalin would have done, and they have to do that to prove that they're good status and administrative state slaves, right? And so we're going to get into the different types of objections that you can make at a deposition for California, all right? Because I'm a California and Texas lawyer, but since California is a bigger state, for you pro per and pro se litigants, if you're in federal court, I'm going to sort of break down how you can handle yourself at a deposition. I'll give some critiques of the lawyers as they do this deposition. It's videotaped. Now, the guy's got a face diaper on, so you're not going to be able to see everything. You won't be able to judge him as well as you normally would have. Now, David, yeah, he may lose his qualified immunity, but I just don't see that as being a big deal, to be honest. Because if a cop loses qualified immunity, you can sue him directly, and if you win $1 million judgment, you're highly unlikely to ever collect it. The only way you're going to collect money is from a party that's got enough coverage to pay you. So by getting a cop to lose their qualified immunity, typically what happens is they declare bankruptcy, they homestead their home, and they hide all their money and their assets, and they hire a good bankruptcy attorney. You don't get anything. That's the reality. I'm just trying to help you guys understand. It's not all it's cut out to be. That's why I think that violating civil rights should be a capital offense, because taking away qualified immunity, all that really does is prevent you from collecting your judgment. So I don't see why it's so important to everybody. And yes, Deborah, I am eligible. Yes, I am eligible to practice law in any federal court, but typically I will have to pro hoc in with local counsel in order to do that. Like if I'm in Louisiana or, you know, a Fifth Circuit or whatever, you know, where I'm doing a 2A case, I'll have to get a local attorney to let me pro hoc in, like get permission from the court from a local attorney. It doesn't matter. Now in Washington, D.C., it's a little bit different because it's a District of Columbia, so it's easier to get barred in. It's just, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm eligible to get barred in a lot more districts and states than I am now. But then I've got to take continuing education to the bar. And if you miss a letter, right, you miss something in the mail, then you get like a temporary administrative, not licensed to practice law for a few weeks type thing on your record. And then you'll have guys like Dick Bag coming on saying you were suspended, which isn't true. But, you know, failure to pay fees just means you can't practice until you pay. And so you don't want to be licensed in a million different states and then have to take do CEB courses all the time, right? Because you have to take a CEB class that's state specific, continuing education of the bar. So there becomes a time where it just becomes overwhelming with all this different stuff you've got to do in order to maintain your licenses. So it's better, from my perspective, to form alliances with lawyers who are the best in their state at being patriotic attorneys. And that's how I try to do it now. That's right. The insurance companies actually do keep them in line to a degree, Richard. But at the end of the day, yeah, their insurance rates would be so high they couldn't get coverage. That's true. That's one way. But let me see here. I'm just trying to read all the comments, man. And it's true. Yeah. Richard Coates says, I agree that cops should have insurance like a doctor. I mean, yeah, I pay an enormous amount of money for my insurance as a lawyer, and I don't have to have coverage, but I do it because I'm one of these guys that, you know, I want to make sure that if I do malpractice, that my clients get covered because I care about people. That's the bottom line. That's right, Deborah. Let me see here. I'm just trying to look at the. Yeah, sui juris. That just means on your own behalf. Moe haka. I love that moe haka. That's cool. And let me see here. What's the matter, you? Love having What's the Matter, you on here. You guys are awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing this video. I've got to make a quick head call. So when I come back, I'll rewind it, but I want you to see Officer Garcia. Look at this disgusting fat body. I mean, this guy is lucky if he can run 20 feet without being winded. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about what's going on here.
Now, did Sergeant Baldock give you any specific instructions as y'all were walking out to the pier or before you turned the audio on possibly as to what formation or strategy or tactics?
Their property, their fishing poles and property, the firearms, no.
Okay. So even after you determined no crime had been committed, they still were not given their firearms back?
No.
Were they detained past the point where their handcuffs were taken off?
At that point, pending investigation, they were still, I believe, once it's called, we walked them to their cars to give them back their firearms.
You know, additional investigation looking for crimes was done after the handcuffs were taken off?
I can't remember. Like I said, that's up to the supervisors.
You don't remember that from the video yesterday?
I can't remember from the video even, so I can't remember from the video, sir.
So you do not remember from your recollection of the video or from your own memory whether or not there was additional detainment time between the cuffs coming off and walking them off the pier?
Objection to form.
In that sense, and doing it to before we return the firearm, we give them property receipts. That's part of our policy to show that they got their firearms returned to them in the way they had it.
But y'all did that out in the parking lot,
in
right?
the parking lot. That's what we advised them, and that's where everything ended.
Do you remember if they were kept on the pier, though, after the handcuffs were off, but before y'all told them to gather their stuff and walk back to the parking lot to get their guns?
You mean if after the handcuffs off, if they stayed on the pier?
No, after the handcuffs off, did y'all require them to stay on the pier for longer investigation while y'all were still figuring things out?
To my recollection, once the handcuffs came off, I believe the lieutenant spoke to them and said, it advised them of what was going to happen, to my recollection, and advised them that to gather their stuff and to walk off the pier, and that their firearms will be returned to them in the parking lot.
You know, were you the newest of all the people, all the officers that were on the pier that day? Were you the newest officer on the pier that day?
No.
Okay, who was that?
If I'm not.
Oh, and by the way, guys, hold on a second. By the way, I may be wrong also. It just occurred to me. This may be another one of these arrests, but it's the same fundamental thing. I thought this was the same cop, but it's the same fundamental concept. We're going to talk now about a false arrest for people hunting and fishing. Somebody tell me in the sidebar if I got this wrong. I think this is the same cop, but I'm not 1,000% sure. So somebody tell me in the sidebar. But it's the same fundamental idea. And the idea is that I want to teach pro per litigants what a deposition is all about. So now that I'm back and I'm more calmed down here, I had to make a quick head call there, you. So the typical objections that you can make at a deposition are going to be form objections. See, you're allowed to conduct a fishing expedition, right? Fishing expedition, hunting and fishing, to gather information, because although it might be inadmissible in court, the information that you're seeking, that doesn't matter because it could lead to other evidence that would be admissible in court. And that's the point of a deposition. So if you ask something at a deposition that is not allowed in regular court, I'm just looking over here to see if it's a different episode. It could be different, but it's the same deal. It's the same dudes. It's the same concept. The guy gets illegally detained or arrested. They take his guns. They draw their guns on him. That's what happened here. This deposition, the cop draws his gun and he says, officer safety is more important. Yeah, asked and answered is a popular one. Yeah, all those objections, Bruce, you can do all that, and you make the objections at the deposition, and then you have the judge rule on the objection at the time of your court hearing, typically during motions in limine. So it's really important for you to make those objections at the deposition so they're preserved, but it does not, as a general rule, prevent or give the deponent the right not to answer. So you're allowed to make a fishing expedition at your deposition. And in California, the objections are typically going to be to form, like compound, where it contains more than one inquiry, like what is your name, address, and phone number? That's compound, right? So that's a bunch of questions in one. That could be confusing. So you can proffer an objection. If I'm the attorney, I'm going to say it's compound, disjunctive, conjunctive, whatever. And then the other side can object, right? Or I could object. The other side can say, no, you can answer. Or if he's a good attorney, he'll say, strike that. Let me rephrase the question. And then ask each one at a time. Why does he want to rephrase it? Well, because you just gave him an opportunity to prevent the question from being brought into evidence later by objecting. You basically are saying you screwed up, ask him it the right way. But if he's a real jerk lawyer, which most of them are, egomaniac a-holes, they'll just go ahead and say, you can answer, and try to act like, put their chest out. But then it makes it easier for me as the objecting party to then get that question completely and the answer excluded during the trial. So I just want you guys to understand that. And he is under oath, David. That is correct. During a deposition, when they first start it, and they didn't show that at the beginning, when they first start the deposition, a court reporter is going to, say, what's your name? Do you understand that you're under oath, under penalty of perjury, under the laws of the state of California or the laws of the United States, whatever it might be, if it's federal, that everything, you have to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury. And you say, yes, I do, whatever. Then you're sworn in, or you make your, you're either sworn or you agree, whatever you want to call it. Now you are bound by perjury law, which is a criminal offense to lie under oath. That is true. And I'm trying to look over and answer questions as we go, guys, so just bear with me. And that's right, David, Benjamin Franklin. If you sacrifice liberty for safety, you deserve neither and you will have neither. That's right. So the objections are typically going to be compound. We just did compound. Leading questions are generally not allowed unless the witness is hostile or adverse. Or like, a leading question would be like, so when you attacked that guy, what were you thinking? That's a leading question because it assumes facts that, for example, it also assumes facts, but you're leading someone. You're basically making them agree to something that may not be true. You're leading them into a trap, so they call it leading, right? So as we go through this video, I want you guys to give me some of your objections that you think would have been appropriate in the sidebar, and I'll throw some of mine out. Ambiguous or vague, that's one that I make a lot. And it's really hard for me to even have a normal conversation with people as a lawyer because I'm always thinking I want to start throwing out objections because some of the things that people say are so ridiculous that I just want to be like, objection, that's leading. That assumes facts. That's not true. Like, what are you talking about? That's not true. Like this one moron, Triple X, saying, look at this guy. He's out there. He wants to have his right to go and harass kids at the park, and that's the only reason why he's openly carrying. Well, clearly that's argumentative. It assumes facts, not an evidence, right? Think about it. Calls for speculation. That's another one. Asking a witness to guess or speculate about something. And then there's case laws about that in California. California Code of Civil Procedure 2025.460B states that objections to the form of any question or answer must be timely made at the deposition or they're waived. Objections not made are waived, right? Rights not claimed are considered waived. Marbury versus Madison. So it's just part of the evidence code. And then Spectra Physics Inc. versus Superior Court, 1988 case, 198, Calap 3rd, 1487, establishes that objections should be short and not coaching the witness. Because a lot of times, you'll try to coach your witness by making a lot of objections, but it's really hard to get a judge involved or a referee. But if it gets out of control, I've had that happen where I've had to bring in a referee, get the court to sanction the other party because they don't even let you get a word in edgewise. And then there's also privilege objections, like attorney-client privilege protects confidential communications between the attorney and the client. So, if they start getting into confidential things like a conversation that I had with my attorney, that's one of the very few questions that you don't have to answer at a deposition. And other than that, you pretty much have to answer anything that they ask you. Even in a civil case, even something that is potentially criminal. If you try to claim the fifth during a civil case, I can get sanctions against you and I can probably get a judgment on the pleadings because the Fifth Amendment as a general rule is not going to apply in a civil case. That's one of the reasons why O.J. Simpson had a real hard time, right? But the good news for him is that he got off on the criminal charges, but still, just because you get off on a state charge doesn't mean the feds can't come and try to charge you. That's not double jeopardy. Think about that. And now attorney-client privilege is a big one. Physician-patient privilege, that's another one. Conversations you had with your doctor, unless your physical condition is at issue. So as a personal injury attorney, I have that happen a lot where, if you're arguing you were severely injured and then you want to prevent me from talking about what your conversation was about your injury to your doctor, I can move for summary judgment or, move to get the case defensed, basically. A summary adjudication is a defense attorney. Work product doctrine, same kind of deal. It shields materials that are prepared in anticipation of litigation. So, if your attorney notes and all that, they're going to be shielded. Yeah. Now, Richard says, what if they ask me a question and related to the events like I have slept outside my marriage? Well, they could ask you that. And typically you'd be like Bill Clinton, go, oh, I don't remember that. I don't know. So one of the ways people get out of it is I don't specifically recall right now. I have a bad memory about that. I'm not really sure. I don't think so. Right. So, but if you lie, right? So I'm just telling you as a lawyer, I try not to ask too many questions that I don't already know the answer to. So that's another thing. A good inquisitor is already going to know the answers to most of these questions. So I just want you guys to know that. Now, sometimes, you're going to ask questions that you don't know the answers to, but big ones like that about, infidelity and all that, you probably should already know the answer. And then you can really get them screwed up if they lie about it or pretend like they don't know. And you've got Sabrosa or, video footage of them, banging the neighbor's wife the night before, which happens. It does. Now, let me see here. Now, there's also California Evidence Code Section 950 through 962. That covers attorney-client privilege. California Code of Civil Procedure 2018.010 or 010. That's for work product. International Insurance Company versus Montrose Chemical, 1991. 231 Cal App 3rd, 1367 emphasizes the need to claim privilege explicitly at the deposition or it's waived. So you got to have a sharp attorney to make these objections or you waive it at trial. Objections not to be made. Typically, you don't make relevance objections. You can't say objection irrelevant because again, depositions can be fishing expeditions. Sometimes people make them, but you still got to answer the question, and the court is not going to rule at trial on relevancy because you move in limine before the trial to exclude things that normally wouldn't be admissible at trial, right? Because again, things that aren't admissible at trial during a deposition could still lead to other evidence that is. That's the issue. So it might be inadmissible at a trial, But if it gives you a tip about something that could lead to other evidence, you could develop that evidence, and that could be admissible at trial. So it's not really fruit of the poisonous tree in a civil case. Hearsay is typically not objected to in depositions, since the purpose is, again, is to discover information that could lead to other evidence. Hearsay is not going to be admissible at trial. But evidence that hearsay questions led to at a deposition could be. Deponents can give opinions without being experts, but if you're a lawyer, if you try and testify as an expert in your own cause, there's a case in California called the Shooker case that waives attorney-client privilege, because typically conversations that experts have with their side of the team are going to be confidential. But if you are your own, actually, I'm sorry, they're not confidential. And if you try to testify as an expert in your own cause, you lose the ability to have that protection. And then let's get into some more. California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 2025, states that objections to competency, relevancy, materiality, or admissibility at trial are unnecessary and not waived if not made during the deposition. So that's what I was trying to tell y'all. Got that? And then speaking objections, where you're just constantly making objections and coaching the witness, that's not allowed. Hopefully I'll be able to show you an example of a speaking objection at this deposition we're going to watch. And then you typically cannot instruct a witness not to answer a question unless it's based on privilege. That's typically the way that goes. Objections to form, you still got to answer unless it's based on privilege. So let's get back into this video. I don't want to bore you guys too much, but hopefully you're learning some stuff. Let's get into it.
I'm mistaken, Rivera.
Do you know if the Miami Beach Police Department has a policy about how it returns firearms to people after it determines no crime has been committed?
From what we were trained?
For how you were trained, yes.
Yes. We make the gun safe. We unload
You can, Richard, yes.
the bullets out of the magazine and separate. And as I stated, the gun is made safe and clear. And then the firearm is returned to them in the back of their vehicle.
Okay. Do you know any reasons for that policy?
I would say for the sake.
So in this case, obviously, I was wrong. This is obviously a different case because he's talking about returning it to the back of their vehicle. This guy was on foot. There's no vehicle to return his firearms to. And so he's clearly speaking about returning it to a vehicle. But nonetheless, you got to see an idea of a false arrest of a guy carrying for the purposes of fishing to and from a fishing destination. And it's the same thing. And he looks the same, but he's got a face diaper on. So, and again, I only had a couple hours to prepare for this. I thought this was the same case. Probably isn't, but it's close enough to where we can get an idea of how a pro per can do a deposition. Let's keep going.
Safety.
Well, if you've already determined and investigated this person and determined that they're not committing a crime and that they're not posing any danger to the public, why not give them the gun back with the magazine still filled with the rounds you found in it?
This was the order we were given.
Okay.
All right. So, basically, in this particular case, guys, I wanted to have more deposition material to share with you guys. I really did. But the bottom line is, hopefully you guys are learning. Now, Bruce, I don't know what's going on with your comments. Bruce, I don't know if you've been on my channel a lot. Maybe the mods are messing with you, but I doubt it because you seem pretty pro USA. But I do know that for whatever reason, YouTube does tend to censor people on my channel a lot. But it's not me. I'm not doing it, and I think that my mods wouldn't be messing with you either. But yeah, he admitted to being an order follower. Here, let's do this, guys. Is there anybody on the show right now who has a video? I've got about I could probably go another half hour. Has a link to a video or a deposition that you want me to break down from a lawyer's perspective. Is there anybody right now in the sidebar who has anything you'd like me to break down, a cop watch video, a lawyer video, Bruce, Officer 114, Mia's Tarot, any of you guys, Life Under, put it in the post a comment deal there, and I'll try to break it down for you right now. I mean, what the hell? And as I'm waiting for that, I'll try to plug myself really quick. So if any of you guys want to learn about how to become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, no undergrad or law degree, or even law school, pick up a copy of my book, My Journey to Becoming a Practicing Lawyer with No Law Degree or Undergrad. You can pick it up for $19.99. I have this chat bot in my sidebar there that keeps on giving you guys the link to my PayPal. You'll be getting the digital version of this book, not the actual soft cover, because I don't have any soft covers for sale right now. It would cost too much money for me to bring it to market. The shipping and handling alone would come close to what I'm selling the digital ebook for online. And it's a living digital ebook anyways, that as I update it on Google Docs, you'll get an updated version of it. So I'm waiting here to see if anybody has any links to anything they'd like me. Why is Mia Tarot getting timed out? I don't know why that would happen. So Mia's Tarot, you're a pretty loyal subscriber. That's been my impression of you. I don't know why anybody would time you out. Does anybody know why her stuff is... Oh, it's Nightbot. So Nightbot's messing with you. I may have to get rid of that Nightbot app. So my buddy BZ turned me on to this Nightbot app. I'll disable it. For some reason, it looks like it's messing with people. By the way, welcome Mia's Tarot. She is one of the newest moderators. I just made her a moderator. Give me a bunch of ones for Mia's Tarot, my newest moderator. And yeah, Nightbot doesn't like big letters. I don't know, Ghost Man. I'm not really too impressed with all these little bots and all that stuff. I'll get rid of it. Okay, so by the way, guys, give me a link. Does anybody have a video or a cop watch video or a deposition or anything they want me to break down? Or do you want me to go back and I don't want to watch that video again. It just wasn't long enough. I was hoping it would give us more material. Let's see here. Bruce R. Could you repeat how I can find your book? Yeah, I can. Hold on one second, brother. You go to my... Hold on one second. I'll just show you. So you go to my YouTube channel and try to make it bigger for you. Then you click right here on more and you scroll down. And then you see my personal blog. That's where I talk about things that, Second Amendment, Constitution. Then here's the law firm. Obviously, the views that I express don't necessarily reflect the views of the law firm. I got other people in my firm who are hardcore lefties. I don't discriminate against people for their politics. If you're a good lawyer, I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you're going to be able to protect and defend my clients, that's all that matters to me. So, I keep that away from my firm. But if you want to buy my ebook, right here, $19.99, there's the PayPal link. You click on that. If y'all want to join me on Reddit, I have a pretty badass Reddit channel if you're a cop watcher or an auditor, and I'll post our YouTube videos for you. There's my X channel there. Got about 13,000 followers on X. If y'all want to join me there's the Commigram link. I don't really use Commigram because I don't support anti-American social media channels, but I have it there. Just in case you guys use it so you can get a hold of me. And then I'm just looking to see, I'm still waiting for somebody to throw me a link or a cop watch. There's a woman who was arrested for filming a male lieutenant and female sergeant. They were deposed. Well, if you got the link, let's break it down, man. I got about a half hour left if you all want me to break down another video for you. I appreciate that, Deborah. Yeah, I have a really interesting story, a really interesting backstory. My background is in construction. I was a contractor and I also was in sales and marketing, and I had a limousine company. I was Rodney Dangerfield's driver, his chauffeur. He's a famous comedian from, hey, what's going on over there? Hey, Mike, pull over. I got to take a big one. All right. So I would drive him from his condo on Wilshire Boulevard in LA to the MGM Grand, and he would put me up at the penthouse over there, and there'd be a bottle of Dom Perignon there for me. He would go out there, and he hated flying, so that's how it worked out. And he had a really cool wife. She was this beautiful blonde. I think she was a Mormon gal. She was about 40 and just drop dead beautiful. And he was about 80 something at the time. And he had this big scar down his chest because he'd had open heart surgery. Really cool guy, man. I got stories about him it'll blow your mind. But yeah, I've got a totally different background than most lawyers that you'll meet. And that's why, like, regular people identify with me, because I'm not like your typical, like, braggart, full of himself kind of guy. I care about people, and that's why I do the show. And I'm still waiting for somebody. Okay, here we go. Looks like Life Under got me a funny video. Let's see if we can let's check out Life Under's funny video. Hold on, guys. By the way, I really like Life Under. Everybody like and subscribe to Life Under's channel if you can. He's a really cool guy. So let me get this thing queued up for you guys, and we'll have some fun. You guys ready for some fun right now? Because Life Under's got a great sense of humor. So give me 1 second. Let me get this bad chicken queued up. All right. 1 second here. Boom. Got that. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right. Make sure it's all in the frame. Make sure we got sound. Sube el volume. For all you Latinos. All right, Bruce. So Justin Ridgel, you look like a new one, man. I love having new people here. Kinetic Custom says, I am single, no kids, and I still care about people that don't even know. Yeah, man, that's what it's all about, man. We're all God's children, and we have to look after each other. And if we're like-minded and we believe in natural law, we believe our rights come from a creator and not from the state, it's really, really important that we all band together and help each other. And before I get into that video, I want to show you guys. So I'm all about creating parallel systems. So parallel systems are super, super important. I'm going to show you what I've been doing. So this is the Michael Eline blog. It's michaeleline.com. And by the way, if any of you guys are webmasters, or you're good at building WordPress websites. So I'm also a webmaster myself. I used to be really, really good at it. I write HTML5 and JavaScript, and I'm pretty good at building websites. But, I've kind of fallen out of it because I'm just so busy doing this YouTube thing. But I do need some help with my michaeleline.com. I need a volunteer to help me. I don't make any money off this blog, by the way. It's just a personal blog. But you can see I was using Contact Form 7, and I was getting about 30,000 spams every day. Someone's obviously using, some kind of a bot to hack me. So if anybody's got a good contact form, they can recommend a plugin. But the reason I'm showing you this is I just created my vetted businesses. I'm all about creating parallel systems like Martin Luther King Jr. And Martin Luther King Jr., he boycotted shopkeepers and people that went against his people. The same way that I want you to boycott Target and BlackRock. I want you to support patriotic businesses like mine and like BZ Watchdog, and go the extra mile, even if you got to pay a couple bucks more, to buy from fellow patriots that care about their country, and stop shopping at stores and stop participating in systems that tell your boys that they're girls, or that your girls or that they're born in the wrong body, all that crap. Just don't participate in business with people like that. Do business with people who are like-minded. And so if you have a business, if you have, a plumbing company, I don't care what it is, shoot me over your information and I'll add you to my business directory. And I call it the Parallel Systems Business Directory. We have to create parallel systems if we're going to take back this country from the Marxist communists that have taken over the administrative state. And if we stop buying from them, if we homeschool our kids and we stop participating in that scumbag system, they'll be forced to heal and start going by what the American people want. And so far, I only have one business in here, Self-Defense Taps Security Products, and that's BZ Watchdog's business, and he sells Second Amendment rights security products, spray foams and stuff like that, you know, that are like pepper spray, but a foam so it doesn't blow back in your face. So if anybody's got a business and they want to participate in my parallel systems directory, I'll always give you plugs and help you support your company, whether you're a plumber or an electrician, whatever it might be. And yeah, Kinetic Custom, shoot over your contact stuff and I'll add you to the directory. And then Group 2FA says, he sent me an email. Well, send it again. It looks like, and by the way, Group 2FA, look, I apologize, brother. You did send me that 120H, and it was in my spam folder, but at least I told everybody, hey, you're right, man. Lane Myers was right. There is a 220 or 120H in Arizona that says, yes, you can have a personal audio device as long as you give notice, and you don't need permission to have that to record audio in court. And that was pretty dope. That was pretty badass, man. I gotta tell you, I'm liking Lane Myers more and more. When a pro per litigant can school an attorney, that tells you that he's smarter than your average bear. So, by the way, I support Lane Myers, and I heard that he got arrested and was found in contempt of court. So if anybody's got more information on that, Roland Chevys, yes, you can be added. Just go to Circle of Legal Trust at yahoo.com or reach out to Life Under the Microscope or BZ Watchdog and just send them your info, and I'm sure they'll get it to me. And preferably also, if y'all got a picture, you know, like your business, a logo, I'd like to add that in there too, because it just looks kind of cheesy not having any kind of logo on there. You know what I mean? Like, I want to make it look sprucey and look good because I want to support you guys, make sure that you guys get some business. I think I've gotten BZ a couple sales already, I think. I'm going to add also, you know, Chili DeCastro in there as well. I think he does the cop cards and all that, so I'll add him in there. Okay, cool, Group 2FA. I'm going to check it out, brother. Then I'll make sure to get you out of spam. Sorry about that, dude. You know, guys, look, I had my law clerk call the clerk of the Arizona Supreme Court, and they were specifically told, no, you cannot record anything, audio or visual, without the head judge's approval. And now we know, based on what a non-lawyer Group 2FA sent me, Group 2FA app, yeah, you can. And Lane Myers was right. So, guys, give me a bunch of ones for Lane Myers. And by the way, if he is locked up, if you go to Google and type in support Lane Myers or donate Lane Myers, pro per or whatever, he's got a donations page. I was wondering why he didn't reach out to me. We were talking for a couple days. I was just, you know, telling him, hey, what's going on? I really support what you're doing, but we got to work on some stuff, brother, make you better. And he was like, yeah, I know. And then all of a sudden I didn't hear from him again. So I'm hoping that he gets back on track and reaches out. And yeah, you can definitely contact me, Roland Chevys, anytime. Now, remember, I work a lot of hours and I do these shows. We'll work for super chats and all that stuff. We'll work for super chats and super stickers and for buying copies of my book, because that's that's one way to keep my wife off my back. The super chats and super stickers, even if it's $1.99, at least I can say, hey, look, I made $1.99 tonight. And she's like, oh, great. But anyways, let's get into this video that my homie Life Under sent me, and hopefully we can have some fun with this. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to make sure it's lined up good. Okay, here we go.
Counting cameras, we don't know why they're doing it. What's your name?
Oh, I go by Billy.
Billy. Is that your birth name, your given name?
No, it's an undercover name.
Undercover name. What's your real name?
I can't say it.
Can't say your name?
No. Let's just say I might have some warranties on me, so I can't just say it.
It does kind of look suspicious if someone just showed up out of the blue and they're walking around, they're taking, and it looks like they're counting or taking notes or whatever.
Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
If you guys have ulterior motives. What happens if you're scoping out the property, you plan on putting pipe bombs everywhere?
Oh, what the hell?
Troublemaker?
I mean, some of these cameras are dummy cameras, folks. See that camera? Those are fake. What
How
the
do you
hell
know?
is going on here?
How do you know
That's
they're fake?
suspicious behavior. 1 camera, 2 cameras, 9, 10. I'm gonna need help after that. We'll gain the intel and pass it on. Handicap access, what the hell? We do have an open door, bed and breakfast, water fountain, desk, technology. All right, that's exactly what I like to see. Look, that one's all cockeyed. Recording device enabled. But I do need to investigate this vehicle. If there's a camera on it, we gather the details and the evidence. Oh yeah, 1 white van. That's pretty good. You got windows, they have seats, rubber. Unit. Salsa. Hornet. I see the mounting device. I don't like what I'm seeing here. It's just not making sense.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, gathering all the security details right now, making sure this place is secured.
Do you know anything about these cameras, sir? Is there any dummy cameras out here?
Yeah, we're looking, we heard there's about 1/3 are dummy cameras.
I don't know.
That you
Really?
can speak of at least?
How could I? No, I don't know of any of them.
We don't know exactly what's going on.
FOIA this stuff. You don't know if it's a dummy camera, if it's a.
Yeah, we believe you guys got 1/3 of these cameras are dummy cameras, so.
Oh my word.
Oh, gee whiz, where the heck did you come from?
They saw you on the camera.
Oh, bless you, bless you. Yeah,
We got word that there was, but we're actually looking for somebody.
yeah, if you know Lester.
Who are you looking for?
Lester.
Lester?
Last name Green, Green.
Growing up, Beetlejuice was simply known as Lester Green.
Lester Green? Okay. Not familiar with him, I guess.
Who is this man?
I'm Beetlejuice, baby.
What's the concern, whether they're dummy or real?
Right now it's a security check. So there's a gentleman, we can't go into too much detail, that sent us out here, and that's how we're getting paid today. So we just got to determine how many are dummies, which one are the dummy
3
cameras.
cups. Wow.
Okay.
I mean, if you got the information, shoot, I'll take it.
Okay. You guys have IDs on you by chance?
No, I don't.
Okay. No IDs at all. How'd you guys get over here?
Well, let's just say I am airborne qualified, sir.
Yeah? Drop from the sky?
Yeah.
You guys walk over here then?
Yeah.
Said a few times if you couldn't tell. But...
Sounds like Rain Man.
And I'm just here waiting for the wife. She's been doing it.
Yeah, that's our boss.
He gives up, pal.
You can record all you want. So, the question I have is, though, there's some other people that are concerned about as far as what people are doing, wandering around, because there could be a suspicious nature to it if someone's counting cameras. We don't know what
Oh, yeah.
or why they're doing it.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're just trying to figure out which one's the dummy camera.
That's cool,
Going
man.
back to then, they're concerned about
Eric.
the cameras.
Eric, yeah.
Who's
Eric Lynch, he's the guy, pretty much the big dog in charge, even though, I mean, the dude's not even big.
what's he in charge of?
He's in charge of us.
Okay.
We're investigators. We do
Yeah, he kind of has a little team of investigators, so.
So, what are you guys investigating in particular?
The cameras right now.
Okay. Any particular reason why, or?
Well, I mean, we got to determine if it's dummies or not. Like, we get it, I mean, as soon as we figure out information, we get the money.
Pays you guys to figure out if the cameras are real or not?
Well, which ones are dummy cameras?
Okay. So you guys don't have any IDs at all on you? Didn't drive here or anything?
Ringleader alert, ringleader alert.
Yeah. Troublemaker?
Yeah, he is.
Seems nice.
I was trying to get him to help, unless if you guys want to help count these with us. There's 13 from the front to the rear.
So, just starting with you, so with a hat, what's your name?
Oh, I go by Billy.
Billy? Is that your birth name, your given name?
No, it's an undercover name.
Undercover name. What's your real name?
I can't say it.
Can't say your name?
No. Let's just say I might have some warranties on me, so I can't just say it.
Warranties or warrants?
Warranties.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't want to get in trouble, but at the same time, I got to do what needs to be done. Like I'll just be in and out.
Well, the concern we have though is we don't know who you guys are. So it's no offense. I'm not saying you guys are bad or anything like that, but you know how it is.
Mr. Lederman, on the other hand,
Is because
he's just giggling away.
Property in the sense that it's public access to it and everything.
Oh yeah.
You would have to admit that it does kind of look suspicious if someone just showed up out of the blue and they're walking around.
No,
and
I wouldn't.
Looks like they're counting or taking notes or whatever.
I didn't bring the notebook. I can't.
Right, but you-
I effed up. I should have took notes.
He can't count past 10 anyway, so
No.
you're pretty safe.
Well, I'm trying.
But I'm speaking in general, though.
You're the guy in charge then, General.
I have no idea what those titles are. So,
Oh,
so you don't want to give me your name or anything like that?
I mean, I probably shouldn't. Like, I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay. So then I still don't know who you are. See, that's
They call me Billy. Billy from the block.
Why does it matter who he is? He's having a
The
good
thing
time.
is,
Come
I
on,
have
leave the
no
guy
idea
alone.
if you guys have ulterior motives.
Oh,
I'm talking about.
Give
like
me your
in the sense
idea. I
that
need your
what
idea
happens
and
if
spike
you scope out the
crack.
property, you plan on putting pipe bombs everywhere.
oh, what the hell?
I'm not saying you
What
are.
the earth?
I'm not saying
No,
you
no, no. Him, on the other hand, that son of a gun.
Why'd you walk
He should
in
really.
between pipe
He was
bombs?
talking about baggy
But that
meth.
would be the nature of why we're here, is trying to figure out, is there any danger to the general public? Is there any danger to the employees inside? You know, is
Well, hold on a minute, guys. Wait, I see some danger. I see like 3 dudes walking around with handguns. That looks kind of dangerous to me. What do you guys think? I think that's kind of dangerous. I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you think that's dangerous? I think it's a little bit dangerous. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Tell me. Do you think it's dangerous? Tell me what you guys think. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's snipe a little bit really quick. Let's snipe a little bit. Hold on. Do you think that this channel's dangerous? Wait, where is he? He's gone. BZ, where are you, buddy? There he is.
He's already in the parking lot.
Let's do a little sniping, man. This is my homie, BZ Watchdog.
All right, you're good to go, man.
I think he's getting bored. What do you guys think? I don't know. I'm getting bored now. Let's get back to the other video. All right, we're done sniping BZ. Let's go back to the fun.
Is there anything nefarious going on?
Oh, hell no.
No. Not unless Lester gets sideways about something.
Well.
But
Mr. Leaderman, hey, you can bail us out, brother.
Yeah, wife's in there, she can do that.
Told you. You got the loot. We're just looking at the vehicles too. You guys got the rubber tires on the van that's brand new, crisp.
I don't work for the sheriff's
Hold on,
office.
cops. Let me take a
Oh,
look.
you're the police.
The police, yep.
I thought you were the security company around here.
Absolutely not.
I just got pants on and shoes. And a shirt.
Yeah.
And a Barry Douglas.
Snitch. Snitch.
Leaderman, young man, you better not do it. You better not be snitching, young man. Please. Please. Ah, son of a bitch. Gosh damn it, Leaderman. We thought you were on our side, Leaderman.
It's like, yeah, I heard him count up to 6, and then they were arguing what comes next.
We'll still use your bail bonds, but don't be snitching.
Don't be doing it.
Please. Well, I got backup on the way. Somebody get a hold of Lester Green. Get
All
him
right,
down
all
here
right.
immediately.
Spell red.
Yeah.
L-S-T-E-R.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting sick to my stomach. Okay, guys, I got. We came here to do a deposition, so let's get into this. Let's get into this deposition real quick. Got another one. Got another deposition for us. All right, so this is a depo. The cops are 5150 just dropped for me. So I'll try to give you some lawyer breakdowns about this particular deposition, and you guys can give me a bunch of 1s if I suck or a bunch of 2s if I'm doing good. Now, Rami says cops are trained to harm people and bring money into the coffers. How many of you guys disagree? Oh, nobody? That's what I thought. All right, let's go. Keep it going.
Boom, perfect timing.
What is the rules of trespassing as a law enforcement officer?
To be in a place where you're prohibited from being, or you no longer have permission.
And can you ID somebody if they are trespassing?
Well, if you told them your presence here is no longer allowed, you must leave, and they refuse to leave, then that's trespass after warning.
Okay, so perfect. So trespass after warning, you have to give them the option to leave. And then if they do not leave, then you can arrest them, correct?
That's correct.
At what point was I trespassing?
Check the form.
Mr. Taylor, if you had just showed us some identification, this all could have been avoided. But you refused to show identification, saying that since your activity was lawful, which it was, technically, sort of, your intention was at least. If you just showed some identification, then that wouldn't, we didn't arrest you for trespassing. We arrested you for resisting an officer without violence.
And open carry.
Yes.
Do
Because
you know what happened? Do you know what happened to those charges?
they were dropped.
So that was a videotaped deposition. Notice how they're like deposing the cop while he's in his car. USA, baby.
According
Look,
to the
same
lawsuit,
flag.
fisherman and open carry activist Michael Taylor was walking south on the Holliver Bridge overpass towards his fishing destination located at the inlet near the bridge underpass. Mr. Taylor was observably wearing fishing attire, a fishing backpack containing a tackle box and other fishing gear, and holding a fishing pole in his left hand. Mr. Taylor was holding a camera in his right hand. He was also openly carrying 2 firearms, a AR-15 rifle slung across his chest, barrel facing the ground, and a Glock 23 handgun holstered on his hip. Officer Kunkus would approach Mr. Taylor on foot and would reach for Mr. Taylor's firearm. Mr. Taylor would vocally object and would explain to Officer Kunkus that he is lawfully open carrying while engaged in fishing, hunting, and camping. After a brief back and forth, Officer Kunkus would handcuff Mr. Taylor's hands behind his back and arrest him.
Woke up, I was going to go down fishing in Miami, and I was going to the Holliver Canal, Holliver Inlet, and there's 2 sides. There's the north side, which is, I believe, ran by Miami, and the south side of that bridge is ran by Bell Harbor. So I went out to try to fish the jetty initially, and when I got there, there was a no fishing sign at the inlet. All the way to the tip of the inlet, there's a no fishing sign. I'm like, okay, whatever. I proceeded to move, just like I always do. As soon as I get into a body of water, I get a line in the water, toss the line in the water, ended up going back to the car to pick something up. I can't remember if it was a drink or something. I forgot something in the car. And so on my way back to the car, I ended up, putting my stuff back in my bag and proceeded to go up and over the Holliver to the Bell Harbor side. And before I even got there, I see him coming, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And I have stuff in my hands. I've got a flag, fishing pole, and a GoPro in my hand. So my hands are pretty full, and they approach, and Officer Kunkus comes.
Well, clearly that flag is illegal, right? Because it's not rainbow flag, and so it goes against the government.
Right out of the car, and it's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, and I'm like, hey, I'm about to go fishing. And he just reaches out, tries to grab my gun. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And I say my Fourth Amendment. And that was one of the scariest things when he was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, and I'm just like, this is not going to go well.
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Glock 23, not bad, not bad.
Whoa. Hey, hold on. I do not. My Fourth Amendment right. My Fourth Amendment right.
At this point, Officer Kunkus restricted Mr. Taylor's freedom of movement by exercising a physical show of force on Mr. Taylor and his firearm, thereby detaining Mr. Taylor or denying him the right to liberty without affording him due process.
Hold on. I don't consent.
So, by the way, really quick, so I prefer a Glock 19 for my carry because I can just put hollows in that for my everyday carry. And then I use a Glock 21 for a home gun. But all my stuff is custom made by Terran Tactical Firearms, the guy who makes the guns for the Jonathan Wick movies. The Glock 23 is a 40 cal, so it's a little bit hotter round than a 45. I'm just not a Glock 40 fan. 9 mil is in abundance, as is 45. And so when you're thinking about the zombie apocalypse, look, ammo is going to be more precious than gold or silver when this economy collapses, right? So I'm thinking that 9mm and 45 is going to be better. I don't know. Give me a bunch of ones if you're a 45 man. Give me a bunch of 2s if you're a 9mm man, and give me a bunch of 3s if you're a 40. I'd like to know what you guys think. But for me, it's always like 45 for home defense all day, every day. That is my favorite. I'm actually a 1911 guy, but I've never had a Glock ever misfeed or fail on me, and 1911s have failed on me, no matter how good they are, no matter how custom they are. So for an everyday carrier home defense, that's what I'm going to go with is a Glock. I'm sorry. I don't know. Well, you guys tell me. Age Go says 1, 2, and 3. Bruce R says shotgun. Well, shotgun for my wife for sure. But you know, there's a scatter pattern and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I'm not a big shotgun guy for home defense. It is harder to miss. You're right. And for my wife, for sure, like she's definitely going to always be using a shotgun for home defense. But for me, I generally don't miss. So I'm going to go with a handgun. But of course, strike that. I'm going to go with an AR-15 because that's what I trained on and grew up on. But yeah, a handgun is a lot easier to grab from your nightstand than an AR-15. So anyways, I like hearing that. Yeah. So Paige Reyes says 9mm, everyday carry, S&W 642. You know what, man? You know, there's always this big battle between like SIG, S&W, and Glock and all that. You know, it's really what you guys like. But me being someone, you know, who has been shooting since I was born pretty much, I've just really fallen in love with the Glock. And because Taryn customizes them for me with the graphite grips and all that, I just love them. I've never, ever had a Glock misfire, ever. I've never had a Glock stovepipe on me. And they could be dirty as hell. You don't have to clean them, and they just keep shooting like an AK. And so that's why I'm a big Glock guy. Short barrel rifle, I agree with you. Thurisat's Airroys. Short barrel rifle is the way to go. Like like an M4 is good. M4 carbine. Let me see here. Roland Chevy's everyday carry revolver. Yeah. Well, I think I know. A revolver also doesn't leave expended rounds on the ground. So, come on. I know. I think I'm kind of understanding Roland Chevy's. I like you more and more, Roland Chevy's. The problem I have with the revolver is I just don't like the kick, and I like the ability to drop mags. Most revolvers max going to be 8 rounds. I want to be able to have at least 15 in the mag and 1 in the hole. For 45s, and my FNP 45 is 15 rounds of FU plus 1 in the hole. And I like the FNP. I've really fallen in love with the FNP. If I'm not going to be using a Glock, I don't like the holographics on the FNP. I'd show it to you guys, but you're not allowed to show handguns or any kind of firearms during a live stream where you're holding it. So maybe I'll show you some pictures in my community channel sometime. But let's get back into this video because I've already stayed longer than I'm supposed to. So let's have some fun and watch the video. We've talked enough about the guns we like. But it looks like... Okay, Rami says, check out the shotgun in the movie, The Killing Jar. I'll check it out. Let me see. So Paige likes the 9mm. Age Go likes them all. Rami's, yeah. I'm a 45 man. I'm not going to lie. The 40 is not my deal, brother, but, it is what it is. Let's go.
I don't consent to any of this, man. I'm going fishing. Look up 790.25, Section 3, Subsection H. It's not about who I voted for, man. While I'm engaged in fishing, hunting, and camping, I'm allowed to do this. Look up.
Don't you think you're going to get people really excited about
I'm not worried about what...
weapons around?
Hey, look, this is my constitutional right. You swore an oath to uphold this right.
Okay,
hey, look, guys. I'm not. Look, you're not wearing a mask, dude. I'm trying to.
Neither were you. Neither were you.
You guys approached me.
We're walking and talking, so I don't have it on.
All right, hold on.
Okay, it's an emergency.
No, it's not an emergency.
Yes, it is.
I'm not doing nothing to nobody. While you're engaged in fishing, hunting, and camping.
Okay, let's go talk about fishing first. There's no fishing on the jetty. There's no fishing under the bridge.
You can't fish over here? On either one of these sides. There's people fishing right now.
No, there's no one fishing right now.
Oh yeah, there.
No, they aren't.
I just saw. I
here.
came over this
Maybe
bridge.
on the other side, but not on the other side.
Well, then I'm gonna walk away. No,
Why not?
because I'm not doing anything unlawful.
Well, how am I going to know that you have the right to carry these weapons if you don't have your identification?
901, 151.
I don't know what that is.
Hey,
Wait a second, we're talking a second.
no, I don't want to talk to
You're
you.
causing complaints.
Hold on,
I have to answer the complaints, and
Hold
you're
on.
causing complaints.
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You don't have to answer any questions. But you do have
Oh,
to
thank
identify
you.
yourself.
Thank you for letting me know my rights.
Under what
Yes,
law?
you do.
901, 151.
Public order.
No.
Yes.
You're,
Yes.
no, you're both wrong. Yes.
I can't believe you.
I need to get your state attorney on the
Okay,
phone.
my name's right here.
State
Okay.
attorney.
All right. There, go ahead.
Oh, I don't care about your sergeant. Get your state attorney. State attorney. Right now, I am telling you what I am doing is lawful.
And so, they surround me and I'm sitting there trying to explain, hey, I'm trying to go fishing. I'm like, I saw people fishing. That's the only reason I'm coming over here to go fishing. And the one thing about all of it is that I wasn't even there. So if they're like, hey, there's no fishing, I'm like, yeah, I'll turn around and go away. And I tried to do that, but they were like, no, you're under arrest.
What were the charges?
They charged me with open carry, which is 790.053 of the Florida statutes, and resisting without violence, which is always, it's something that they seem to like to do to anybody that has a disagreement with them. If they're not, it's not that I wouldn't comply with them. I was just telling them that I was doing something lawful. And because I was telling them all that, they didn't like it. So when they arrested me, they hit me with that secondary charge.
The trumped up charges against Michael Taylor would eventually be dropped, and about a year later, Mr. Taylor would file a lawsuit against Officer Kunkis, citing Second Amendment infringement and several Fourth Amendment violations, such as malicious prosecution, unlawful arrest, unlawful detention, unlawful search, and unlawful seizure. What's unique about Mr. Taylor's lawsuit is that he's a pro se
I like that
plaintiff, meaning he's not
Hey guys, give me a bunch of ones for his rig. That is cool. See that? See some of the rigs, they're too high up. Like they'll come up like to the top of the slide. And it can interfere with your ability to take it out, to deholster. I like that. That looks really cool. By the way, look, I'm not crapping on 40s at all. Like if you like 40 cal, that's cool. It's a hotter round. It is a hotter round, so it's got more velocity than a 45. Again, I grew up on 45s, guys. So that's all. So don't hate me for not being a 40 man or a 10 mil man.
Represented by an attorney. Mr. Taylor is representing himself. During a lawsuit, there is something called a deposition, which involves a living, breathing witness being asked questions about the case. The deposition has two purposes: to find out what the witness knows and to preserve that witness's testimony. The intent is to allow the parties to learn all of the facts before the trial, so that no one is surprised once that witness is on the stand. Depositions don't take place in courtrooms. Instead, they usually take place in attorneys' offices. The attorneys will ask the witness a series of questions about facts and events related to the lawsuit, with the entire deposition recorded word for word by a court reporter. What you're about to see is Michael Taylor questioning Officer Andrew Kunkis during his deposition. How many people get the opportunity to question the person who unlawfully arrested them and violated their rights?
All right. Officer Kunkis, how long have you been an officer of Bell Harbor?
Since May of 2011.
Oh, by the way, guys, I'm looking at the Gen 12 PDS. Holy crap. So right now, just so you know, brother, she's running a Sega 12. I really like the Russian shotguns, but damn, I like that AR platform. In this one I'm looking at, it looks like it's got a baffle on it. I don't know how you can baffle a shotgun, but it looks insane. Holy crap. Dude, that's my next shotgun. That is insane, dude. You guys, take a look at the Gen 12 PDS shotgun. Bro, man, I'm making you a mod. Just join me a couple more times because it pisses off all my mods when I just make people mods right away. So make sure you come back, dude. You're going to be one of my mods soon enough.
Have you worked at any other police department in the state of Florida?
Miami
That's
Beach
sick.
Police Department.
And for how long?
May of 1994 until October 2010.
Have you ever been involved with a lawsuit?
Yes.
When?
In the 1990s.
Do you know what 901.151 of the Florida statutes is?
Yeah, in regards to stopping people and frisking them, detaining them.
Correct.
So let me just explain something to you. So as a lawyer, I would say at the time of the arrest, did you know what this section was? See the difference? That's a little nuanced, but he already knew what it was. But let's get into it because look, this is a pro per litigant, guys. Like Elaine Myers, he's not a 20-year lawyer. And you guys saw earlier, I got freaking smashed on this 120H, 122H. So it doesn't matter how long you've been in practice, but it does when it comes to experience at doing something repetitively. This is a guy who probably has never taken a deposition in his life. He's doing pretty damn good. Give me a bunch of ones for this pro per litigant.
Do you happen to know what 790.25 is?
It has to do with being armed while going on a hunting or fishing expedition.
We'll get to the letters here in a minute, the lettering, but primarily the beginning parts of 790.25. Do you know what that part of the statute? You don't have to give me the verbatim what it says, but just a general consensus what 790.25 says in the Florida statutes.
That it's okay to have a rifle if you're going hunting or fishing.
I'll give you a little insight. 790.25, the beginning parts, just without the letters or the numbers, pertains to possession of a firearm.
All right.
Now we're going to go to section 3. Do you know what section 3 of 790.25 says?
No, not exactly.
Section 3 states, and I'm not quoting this, I just want to give you a general idea, but the beginning part says the provisions of Florida statute 790.053 and 790.06 do not apply in the following instances. Do you know what 790.053 is?
Rami, I like being armed when I'm fishing because if there's a great white shark coming at me, I know that I can double tap a couple rounds and I'm good to go. I like being armed no matter what I'm doing, to be honest, Rami. Wherever I am, I like to always be armed. And that's why I like to live in states where it's constitutional carry. And give me a bunch of ones if y'all like being armed wherever you are too. And I think Rami's having a good time because I think that Rami likes being armed wherever he is as well. Because that's what it's all about. It's your birthright as an American.
No.
Do you know what 790.06 is?
No.
Okay, just so I can give you a little clarity about it, the 790.053 statute pertains to open carry. 790.06 pertains to concealed carry. Is 790.053 in Florida under the Florida statute, is that illegal in Florida?
I was wondering, can a felon carry a firearm while going fishing?
Objection, irrelevant.
That wasn't my question.
All right. I was just wondering.
Again, at a deposition, you wouldn't make a relevancy objection, but in this case, I would say objection argumentative. Misstates the testimony. You know, I don't know about misstates. Definitely argumentative. What would be another one? Well, probably argumentative, but it's definitely irrelevant. I mean, this guy is a complete punk. Look at this guy. What a dick.
That wasn't my question.
All right. So you have the book in front of you. Go ahead.
Right now I'm asking you questions and I'm just looking to see if you know the answers.
No.
Objection non-responsive. That's the one I wanted to throw it. Guys, I'm getting older. Objection non-responsive. Let's go back and do it again. Let's have a teachable moment here. Let's go.
The Florida statute, is that illegal in Florida?
I was wondering, can a felon carry a firearm while going?
Objection non-responsive, objection argumentative. He's asking a question instead of answering the question. And look at what a smug piece of shit this guy is. What a dick.
Fishing or hunting?
That wasn't my question.
All right. I was just wondering.
That wasn't my question.
Why does it matter?
All right. So you have the book in front of you. Go ahead.
Right now I'm asking you questions.
Objection assumes facts, not an evidence. Objection assumes facts, not an evidence. Objection argumentative. Your Honor, move to strike the response. Counsel, if you don't instruct your client to start answering the questions, I'm going to seek sanctions and I'm going to seek a motion to compel. Do you understand, counsel?
And I'm just looking to see if you know the answers.
No.
You don't know if open carry is lawful or illegal in the state of Florida?
It's generally not lawful.
Okay. Do you know what the 379?
Objection non-responsive. He's not answering any of the questions. Counsel, I'm instructing you to tell the deponent to start abiding by the rules of depositions and proper decorum, or I'm going to seek a protective order and I'm going to seek sanctions against you as well as your client. Do you understand, counsel? See, this other guy's an attorney. That's his attorney. And he's just sitting there acting like a complete dingleberry. And we got this smug piece of garbage over here sitting in the car acting like a complete punk.
9 statutes are.
No.
Do you know what 379.105
Hey, James, good seeing you, brother.
Nope.
What if I told you that 379.105 is, in a general consensus of this statute, is harassment of fishers or hunters?
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Under that law, there are penalties for harassment of fishers or hunters. Do you know what those penalties are?
No, what are the penalties?
The penalties are a second-degree misdemeanor. Have you ever arrested someone?
Look at these two administrative state scumbags over here. They think it's hilarious. They violated this guy's rights, and they think it's hilarious. They think it's funny. They're having a good time. The guy's defending himself, and he's doing a pretty good job, considering he's not a trained lawyer. If I was a Florida attorney, I would represent this guy pro bono. I don't get it. Where are you Florida lawyers who are like pro-Constitution, pro-Second Amendment? Where are you? What's going on, guys? What the heck is going on? Why aren't you helping this guy?
Somebody for a second-degree misdemeanor.
Yes.
Thank you, James, for becoming a member.
379.354 of the...
Everybody, give me a bunch of ones for James Forbes. He's a new member. He just earned his private first-class chevrons. He is a member of Team MPE. Era. Freaking motivating the crap out of me. Hold on one second, guys. I just got motivated. Just give me 1 minute. James Forbes, you have officially become a member of Team MPE. Hoorah! Give me a bunch of ones for James Forbes, guys. Ooh, raw. Ooh, freaking raw. I just got motivated right now. Hoorah!
Florida statutes. Do you know what that is?
No.
379.354 in a general nutshell, it pertains to possession of a fishing license and the authorities that I would have to give said license to. Do you know who would check a fishing license?
Generally, the Fish and Wildlife Commission does that.
And do you know what the FWC in Florida actually stands for?
Florida Wildlife Commission.
It's a Florida and Fish and Wildlife police officer, basically. And they're state oriented, just like state troopers. These are...
So let me just really quick. So I actually talked to a Florida lawyer a couple of weeks ago about this. And, why is it that there's an exception for carrying a firearm where you're fishing and hunting, right? Well, what is something that is really common in Florida? I want you guys to tell me, what do you know about Florida that makes it different than other states to where you might want to have an AR-15 on you when you're fishing? I want to see if you guys know, because I didn't think about it Because to me, you should just always be armed no matter what. But what would specifically why would you specifically always want to be armed if you're hunting or fishing like near a body of water anywhere in Florida that's like especially fresh water? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Tell me what you think. I want to hear what you have to say.
They're state-oriented law enforcement officers.
A completely different agency that just focuses
crocodile,
on
alligator. That's right.
That's primarily it's
And
fishing,
snakes.
hunting, game. Anything that's wildlife here in the state of Florida, whether it be boars, fish, whatever, it's all covered under them. Under 379 statutes, it primarily deals, or actually, it only deals with Florida Wildlife and Commission officers specifically.
By the way, there's still a law on the books in Florida that it's illegal to chain an alligator to a fire hydrant. Look it up.
I have asked many people for their fishing license.
You have?
Yes, I have.
What authority did you have?
I do it out on the jetty
Wild bum.
when people are fishing. And I am allowed to ask for it.
Why do you think you have the right to ask for it?
It's a Florida statute. I'm empowered to enforce Florida statutes.
So essentially, Officer Kunkis is checking people's fishing license, even though he has zero authority to do so. And even if he did find a violation, he would have to ask a different agency to enforce it.
Police can't even run my fishing license. Most of these things are not criminal citations. Do you know fishing regulations in the state of Florida?
A few of them.
What are those regulations you know?
Good question.
Size of snooks, lobster season.
Okay, what are the regulations for snook?
The snook has to be between 14 and 29 inches or some approximate size like that. I'd have to refer to the book.
If I was to tell you it was 28 inch, or on the east coast of Florida, it's 28 to 32 inches, and on the west coast, it's 28 to 33 inches. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I would say that sounds reasonable.
Well, that's actually 100% true.
All right.
Sounds reasonable.
Well, I've never fined anybody for any violation for it.
And just like I questioned him about, what's the size limit on snook? Because he said he's checked people for snook, and he's like 14 to 29. And I'm like, that's not even close, not even remotely close. He got two inches, right? But if he caught somebody with a 30-inch fish, and his 14 to 29 would get actually that person arrested for a felony because it's a federally protected fish. And that's why I was like, you're really pushing the limit on friggin' trying to arrest somebody. He's like, well, I don't really fine them, but you check them, and that's the problem, is that you don't have that authority. But my curiosity with this is, if you don't know, like as you just said, you don't know the law, how can you enforce something that you don't know?
Check the form. You can answer.
By a careful review of the statute before taking any action.
In the deposition, I asked him, if you don't know the law, how can you enforce the law? And he's like, well, before we take action, we do a very in-depth, they look at all the statutes.
That's not true. They don't.
Well, let's just say, for hypothetically, he would have looked at the open carry statute, or would have looked at what I was doing, the statute I quoted. If he would have looked at that, he would have found out it was lawful. If they were claiming the COVID sign. Well, if they would have looked into the governor's order, they would have found out that was wrong. So there's a few things that it's like, okay, you look into stuff before you take action. Well, you took action, and then here we are. Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is?
Yes.
What is it?
Due process.
If I was to tell you
process,
that is not correct, and I was to tell you it's unreasonable searches and seizures, allowing myself to be in possession of my personal property, effects, things of that nature. If I told you that, would you believe me?
All right.
Is that a yes or is that a no?
That's an I don't know.
I'm looking at
this dude just admitted that he doesn't even know what the Fourth Amendment is, and he's out there. He took an oath to uphold the Constitution. Do you guys know what the Fourth Amendment is? Give me a bunch of ones if you know what the Fourth Amendment is. Give me a bunch of twos if you don't. Be honest, because it's not due process. I mean, it's part of what would be included is part of your due process rights, right? I mean, you know, part of the 14th Amendment or the Fifth Amendment would be that you had, you know, proper due process, and obviously an unlawful search and seizure without a warrant would violate due process, right? Because no due process was afforded, right? Right? Am I wrong? I mean, I want to know because I was wrong about the 120H thing or 220H earlier, but I think I'm okay with this one. But let's keep going.
Camera looking at him, looking at his lawyer, and he's just sitting in his car, just like, man, I don't want to be here. And that's why I think this video, people can see it on paper all day, but to see his demeanor is just like the disdain. And it's probably not just me. I'm sure he's done this to numerous other people. You know, it wasn't day one for him. You are not an FWC officer, correct?
No, I'm not.
When you became a police officer, did you swear or affirm that you would uphold and defend the Constitution, the Florida Constitution, and the laws thereof?
Yes.
Do you have your phone with you, or are you on your phone?
No, I'm on a laptop from work.
Okay.
I have my phone with me, yes.
Can you go to Merriam-Webster for me real quick?
No.
Can you please pull out your phone and go to Merriam-Webster for me, please?
He doesn't have to look anything up. He's just here to answer questions today. So, man, I have no I'll put it up on the screen. I mean, there.
Oh yeah, please.
Journey or excursion undertaken for a specific purpose, group of persons making such a journey.
Okay, we're gonna slow this down a little bit, and we're gonna take this just like 790.25 section 3, and then we have multiple subsections in that, correct? We have multiple, it's A through a bunch like J or K or way down there. But there's multiple sections of certain definitions of law. Just like in this definition of law or definition, we're going to start at the beginning. The definition of an expedition is a journey or excursion undertaken for a specific purpose. That is the first part. The second part is saying the group of persons making such a journey. The second definition is efficient promptness, i.e. speed. The third definition, a sending or setting forth. Would you agree as a reasonable person, definition 1, section A, was I on a journey or excursion undertaken for a specific purpose?
So your purpose was eventually to file lawsuits for monetary gain?
What an asshole.
Was the purpose?
That wasn't my question. My question was, as a reason.
Objection, non-responsive, argumentative. Counsel, please instruct your client to abide by the proper rules of evidence and answer the question, or I will be seeking sanctions against you and your client. This is not some kind of joke, counsel. I have a lawsuit filed against your client for the same purpose and the same reason, the same behavior that he's engaging in right now. His lackadaisical attitude, his refusal to support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. He thinks that my unalienable constitutional rights are a joke, counsel, and by you allowing him to get away with this, you're violating your oath of office, counsel. Please instruct your client to answer the question.
Reasonable person would, definition 1, section A journey or excursion undertaken for a specific purpose. Would that be a reasonable definition of what I was doing?
Well, there's your ostensible purpose, then there's your actual purpose.
Well, what was my actual purpose?
Lawsuit.
Objection, assumes facts not in evidence. Objection, argumentative. Objection, non-responsive. Counsel, please instruct your client to answer the question. I've been trying to get him to answer questions multiple times, and you're just sitting there snickering and laughing along with him. Aren't you an officer of the court? Although your client appears to think the Constitution is nothing, what about you? Don't you think that the rules of court matter? Don't you think that the rules of evidence matter, counsel? Please instruct your client to answer the question. Move to strike the response as non-responsive. Please answer the question as asked.
Do you know how many lawsuits I have?
40.
If I told you I have other than a dismissed lawsuit that I was part of, that got dismissed.
I haven't researched you. No, I don't. I have no idea.
Well, you're saying I have 40 and I've got lots of videos. So, okay, so 40, that's what you're saying.
I'm just throwing out a number.
Well, let's keep it realistic. Like, if you really think that, I mean, that's what I would actually ask, is throw out a realistic number. I want to know what you think about this.
All right. What's your next question, sir?
Okay.
Counsel, can you please instruct your client to act properly? I mean, this is ridiculous. The guy is acting totally smug, like a total jerk. I mean, should we cancel the deposition? Do I need to move for, to compel your client's testimony? Because when I show the judge the transcript, he's going to see what's going on, counsel. Can you please instruct your client to start abiding by the rules of evidence?
Can you pull up the definition of emergency? All right. The definition is an unforeseen combination of circumstances or the resulting state that calls for immediate action. What was the combination of circumstances that resulted in you had to make immediate action?
You refused to identify yourself while openly carrying firearms.
Before you approached me, what was so necessary that you had to make immediate action?
I was responding to a police complaint.
And what was that complaint?
That there was a man carrying a shotgun.
Really don't know why you referred to it as a shotgun, but those are the little things that you have to pay attention to, because those are going to be the slip-ups that matter. And is it lawful to possess a firearm in the state of Florida?
Yes.
Was I carrying my firearm lawfully in the state of Florida?
Yes, although you refused to assist me in determining.
Objection, non-responsive, argumentative, assumes facts not in evidence. Counsel, can you please instruct your client to answer the question? Stop making speaking objections and just letting him ramble. Counsel, please. We need to control these proceedings.
That with surety.
Okay. Once again, I come back to the Fourth Amendment in 901-151. Do you believe I have civil rights?
Yes, you have civil rights.
Do you believe you violated my civil rights?
No, I don't agree.
Scott, I'm not sure if you have like little neck movement or something. Please try not to move your head. Please let your client answer.
I'm working on multiple screens here, so my head's gonna be moving all the time.
I'm trying to pay attention to him, but I'm also trying to pay attention to you. And when I asked that question, I kind of saw something that I didn't really like. But I'll move forward from that. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. Can you check anybody carrying a lawful firearm?
You're the only person I've ever seen openly carrying a firearm.
Objection, non-responsive, argumentative. Counsel, can you please instruct your client to answer the specific question that I asked? What is wrong with your client, counsel? This is somebody who's taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, and he's acting smug and he's acting like a smart aleck. Counsel, can you please ask your client to start abiding by the rules of evidence, the rules of court, and behave himself in a manner that would be becoming of someone who's a law enforcement officer? Please do that for me, or I will be forced to seek a motion for sanctions and to compel. Can you help me out? This is the last time I'm going to ask you, counsel. This is ridiculous. Do you want me to move to compel and seek sanctions against you personally for refusing to make your client start abiding by the rules of evidence and proper decorum?
Firearm. Until you brought your little group later for your further demonstration. I've never seen anyone openly carrying a firearm in Miami Beach or in Bal Harbor.
That wasn't my question. My question is, can you check anyone carrying a lawful firearm?
Non-responsive.
Carrying it how?
While they have a concealed weapon, can you check them for said license if they've broken no law?
That is a difficult question to answer because the circumstances change.
It's yes or no. Objection, non-responsive.
Okay, I'll give you a scenario. You pull somebody over for speeding. You ask them, do you have a firearm in the car? They say yes. Do you have the right to check their firearms license?
It depends on where the firearm is.
In the glove compartment.
That would be lawfully carried, so no.
If they were concealed carrying it.
I might check their concealed weapons permit for validity in the firearm for whether it's stolen or not.
Whether it's stolen or not?
Yeah, that's
Or
what
just
officers
because-
do. I hear it on the radio constantly.
Okay, but you're not just checking their concealed weapons permit, you're checking to see if their firearms are stolen.
Well, so cops are 5150 asked, by the way, great video, brother. I mean, thank you. You saved my show because I thought that other deposition was going to be longer. Isn't the lawyer required to tell his clients to abide without being asked? Well, it's kind of a wobbler, but typically if this guy wasn't pro per, these kind of shenanigans wouldn't be going on. This lawyer's a punk. I'm just telling you, he's a punk, and he is going along with the cop, and the cop is a total scumbag. These guys they just think that this guy's a sucker, and they don't really, obviously they could care less about the Second Amendment or the Bill of Rights. The guy's an activist. He's out there with a flag, Gadsden flag mixed with an American flag, carrying a fishing pole, going to or from a fishing destination, and they just don't like it. And and if they get their political party in power, there won't be a Second Amendment anymore, and they'll be happy about that. That's the problem that I have with guys like this. Let's keep going.
Check the serial number to make sure that it's not wanted or lost or stolen. It's something that is commonly done. I hear it on the radio all the time.
Is that a policy within Bell Harbor?
It is not a policy in Bell Harbor. It's something I hear being done in the county, the Sunny Isles. Just one moment, sir. I'm sorry. Jeff, I can't talk right now. I'm sorry.
What a dick. Okay, so if this was in court, the judge could try to find this guy in contempt. He leaves his phone on even though he knows he's in a deposition. What a dick. And by the way, counsel, what evidence does your client have that it's being done somewhere else? And why is that relevant to this case? Counsel, can you please instruct your client to start acting like a human being instead of some asshole who's a pensioner who thinks that he's better than the American people?
All right, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, thank you for letting me.
We have a Second Amendment right here. And
ask
unless
questions.
you're doing something unlawful, or they have knowledge of you doing something unlawful, or any of that, they can't just stop and check to see anything. They can't do it. And even if you're pulled over in a traffic stop, and that's why I pulled up the scenario of a traffic stop, is that you're pulling him over for X, but now you're trying to find out if he's a felon with a gun. And you can't do that. If you were here because of a firearm and he had done something unlawful, that's a whole nother ballgame when there's unlawfulness. But you can't just check some random person. And once again, they probably did the same thing, but I had been arrested. So they were going to run a check on it. And that's just the way the law works. But to run somebody and at any willy-nilly, they can't do it. It's not lawful. It violates your Second Amendment right, and it violates your Fourth. Did you admit to what I was doing that day? What I was doing was lawful?
No, wasn't lawful.
Did you admit in the video of that day that what I was doing was lawful?
There was such a law that you were quoting, but it didn't apply. We asked you repeatedly to show some identification.
Objection, non-responsive, argumentative, misstates the testimony. Counsel, can you please instruct your client to answer the question? Did you or did you not say on a video that it was lawful? Yes or no?
And you said that we had no right to ask you for it since you were engaged in fishing. I mean, how did I know that you weren't the next Adam Lanza or Salvador Rojas?
Objection, non-responsive, argumentative. Counsel, can you please instruct your client to answer the question?
Did anybody get shot before I showed up?
No, but no one got shot before Adam Lanza went to the elementary school. No one got.
Objection. Argumentative. Can you please tell your client to start answering questions instead of making speaking objections and specious comments? Counsel, really, this is ridiculous. I'm going to seek sanctions against you and your client if you don't start making your client abide by the rules of evidence and proper decorum. What's going on, counsel? Why are you letting this guy do this?
Shot before Mr. Salvador went to the elementary school.
So from the time I was there until the time I met you, I could have done anything I wanted. I could have hurt people, but I didn't. I was walking with a patriotic flag, a fishing pole, and a GoPro, correct?
That's right.
Oh, finally answered a question properly.
What part of that for you caused alarm for the citizens?
The flag.
The AR-15.
A minute
the
ago, you
flag?
called it a shotgun, so I just want to make sure we're talking about the same firearm.
Yes. You
It was
never
on.
had a shotgun. You had an AR-15.
Perfect. What is the rules of trespass?
By the way, I would bet you $1 million his attorney is texting him and he's looking at his phone going, why did you call it a shotgun, dude? It's an AR-15. So now he's like correcting himself. I would try to subpoena the cell phone records between this guy and his attorney. Yeah, they would claim attorney-client privilege, but again, you know, if it's official, you know, it's within the course and scope of his duties. He could try and argue in-camera hearing with the judge. Hey, man, judge, I think that, you know, there's something foul is afoot here.
Trespassing as a law enforcement officer.
To be in a place where you're prohibited from being, or you no longer have permission.
And can you ID somebody if they are trespassing?
Well, if you told them your presence here is no longer allowed, you must leave, and they refuse to leave, then that's trespass after warning.
Okay, so perfect. So trespass after warning, you have to give them the option to leave, and then if they do not leave, then you can arrest them, correct?
That's correct.
At what point was I trespassing?
Check the form.
Mr. Taylor, if you had just showed us some identification, this all could have been avoided.
Objection non-responsive. Objection non-responsive. Argumentative counsel. What the hell is wrong with your client? Why can't he just answer questions? Why does he have to constantly try to defend himself? It's a yes or no. It's a pointed question. Yes or no. What was he violating the law or not? Counsel, what is wrong with your client? Does he need special medicine? What's going on? I realize he's a little older. What's the problem, counsel?
But you refused to show identification, saying that since your activity was lawful, which was technically, sort of, your intention was at least. If you just showed some identification, then that wouldn't. We didn't arrest you for trespassing. We arrested you for resisting an officer without violence.
Non-responsive, argumentative. He's not answering the questions.
And open carry.
Yes.
Do
Because
you know what happened? Do you know what happened to those charges?
they were dropped.
Unless I'm breaking the law, I have a right. Those questions that he's answering are a very direct reflect of why I'm suing. I want him to realize what he did was wrong because I can't get him arrested like he arrested me and he actually violated my rights, kidnapping, so on and so forth. So there's only one way to
False
hold him
imprisonment.
accountable, and that's either in the public eye, YouTube, or we go through this route.
Man, oh man. So this is an example of, hold on, let me, looks like the video's over.
Yes, I will. If I win, I will make money. I just don't know how much. If they could come out with a settlement saying, hey, X amount of dollars, and I might or might not take it. Or if it goes to court and they decide on X amount of dollars, that's what the court would decide, you know. And I don't say it's about a number. I want the accountability, but yes, there is a number that I would like to see, but hey, whatever happens, happens, you know. I'm doing a lawsuit by myself and I've put $400 or $500 into this. And yeah, I think it's worth it. I think the accountability at this point right now, even I feel I've won in this point because I've gotten to this point. Most people don't get to this point.
He's right.
Not without a lawyer anyway.
Yep. So guys, I want you to, I just dropped his link. I just dropped this dude's link in the chat box there. So guys, look, you're talking to somebody who became a lawyer on the law study program with no undergrad, with no formal legal training, no law degree. And I'm telling you right now, I'm impressed with this guy. And I want you to give me a bunch of ones. I just dropped his link. I want you to like and subscribe to his channel. And just give him some support. I don't know what happened to his case, but Cops are 5150. This is something that I want to start doing from now on during my shows. I want you guys to start emailing me links of stuff you want me to give lawyer breakdowns of, especially pro per litigants and people who are like trying to defend their own cases, because I have a lot of respect for people who are trying to do it on their own. It's one thing to try to always get a lawyer to help you, but when you believe in yourself enough that you want to get educated and you want to learn how to become a lawyer and ultimately become a lawyer without a law degree or a law school or a undergrad, these are the kind of people that I want on my channel. I want people who really care about their rights and want to educate themselves and set an example for their fellow citizenry. The academic industrial complex is so full of bootlickers and people, it's a government run system. I mean, the public education system was imported here by the Rockefeller family from Prussia in order to create a nation of workers, not of thinkers. And I want people who believe in critical thinking, people who want to homeschool their kids, people who are into homesteading, growing their own vegetables, farming, not going to Target, not people who believe that you weren't born in the wrong body, right? People who don't want to inject their kindergartner with steroids, right? Those are the kind of people I want on my channel, like clear thinking, intelligent people who are like-minded, but not so like-minded that they agree with me on everything. I just want you to agree with me on one main thing, and that is that our rights come from a creator, from an all-powerful creator, not from the government. And because our rights are inherent and we're born with them as our birthright, they can't be taken away by the state. Those are the kind of people that I want to be involved in Team MPE. So Cops are 5150, man, that was an awesome video. And so if you guys have some stuff you want me to break down, attorney breakdown videos, shoot them over. Circle of Legal Trust at yahoo.com. Shoot me over any stuff you guys have you want me to break down, and I'll start looking at it. If you have video of your own arrest and you want me to break down, like a lawyer reaction, send it over, because the video that Cops are 5150 shared tonight, this deposition, that was awesome, man. That was freaking dope, dude. And by the way, guys, Cops are 5150. I don't know if you see that image, but that's a skull and that's a mortar round going through that. And I remember I saw that Ripley's Believe It or Not. Remember that guy? Believe It or Not, Jack Palance. And that is a true story of a guy who had a mortar round. He was, I guess, a mortarman, and a mortar went right through his head. And the guy lived like nothing happened to him. It was so quick. It went right through, in and out, and apparently there was no problem. The guy actually survived, and I believe that is his skull or a reasonable facsimile of the skull with the mortar round. Cops are 5150. Am I wrong about that? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I remember. I think my mom joined the channel tonight too. Mom, do you remember Ripley's Believe It or Not with Jack Palance? What a cool show. I remember that. I remember that mortar round going through that guy's skull. And I had a dream a couple of nights ago, because I see him in my shows all the time. And I'm pretty damn sure that that's where that comes from. So it looks like Nightbot is causing a lot of problems with my channel. So I'll disable it, guys. I'm sorry you guys keep getting timed out. I don't know what the hell's going on. Hey, what's going on, BZ Watchdog? Give me a bunch of ones for BZ Watchdog, guys. He just popped by to say hi. Super, super happy to have you. Yeah, guys, I don't know about the whole Nightbot thing. I'm sorry you guys keep getting timed out and stuff. That's, I was hoping maybe there's a way I can disable him from causing trouble, but basically I set that up because I was hoping it could help me sell some of my ebooks about how I became my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. You too can become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. Actually, I do cover the different states that have similar programs about how to become a lawyer with no law degree or undergrad. But California has the best one, and that's the one that, what's her name is on, Kardashian. That's the one Kardashian's on. So while we're doing this, guys, I'm just going to really quick Do you guys remember Tom Vu come to my seminar? I mean, look, one of the things I love about you guys is you're older. So a lot of the guys on my channel remember this stuff. But man, when I was growing up, you know, you had like channel 56. You had, you know, the UHF channels. We didn't have cable and all that stuff. I remember when like On TV first came out, and I got to see Star Wars at my buddy's house because they were rich, and they had On TV. Then they had Select TV. Do you guys remember this? Give me a bunch of ones if you guys remember On TV or Select TV or any of this stuff, if you're old enough to remember any of this. And then remember, we finally got like cable that was beyond On and Select, and then it was like MTV and all the different cable stations. Somebody give me some ones if you remember On TV. Somebody give me a bunch of ones if you remember Select TV. 2s for Select TV. 2s for Select TV. James Forbes. James Forbes remembers. Right on, man. That's cool. Right on, man. Right on, Deborah. You rock, Deborah. You're awesome. You don't look 58. That must be a picture from when you were in like junior high school. Come on, stop trying to pretend like you're younger than you are, Deborah, showing us pictures from when you were in junior high school. Shame on you. Right on, what's the matter? You right on, Bruce R. Well, by the way, I do these shows in vertical because I'm trying to get the younger people, but for some, yeah, of course I remember jukeboxes, dude. Are you kidding me? I remember going to like Farrell's. I think it was Farrell's. It was like an ice cream parlor. And you could get, if you ate all the ice cream, you could get like free food or something, or you get your meal for free. Or Ferraro's or I think it was Farrell's ice cream parlor. And I think it was on Tustin Avenue in Orange, the city of Orange. And it was right across the street from the Orange Mall if you lived in California. And my mom would take me there, and it was just the coolest, man. Man, it was such better days before we had the internet in so many ways, guys. I remember the first MTV too. Was that like Michael Jackson or something, Deborah? The first MTV video? Hey, I had 8 tracks too. My dad actually had the not 8 tracks as well as the other ones, the round ones. He had all that stuff. My dad had all the coolest stuff. He was a cool dude, actually, to be honest. We just didn't get along that well because he was just an old school crazy Marine that was all wiped out from Vietnam because our country lied to us and told us that the Gulf of Tonkin massacre happened when it didn't. But we'll get into another show on that. But anyways, man, that is so cool. Yeah, video killed the radio star. Remember that, dude. So that's 30 Sots Erois. Love your name, dude. I'm trying to figure out what that is. I mean, Erois, 30 Sots Erois. I'm trying to think German, but maybe it's Czech. Maybe like, I don't know. It's not quite German. It's not Scandinavian. Erhuis. But it's some kind of, I don't know, man. It's got to be like Midwestern European. Somebody help me out with that name. Thurisats Erhuis. Maybe he's Finnish? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, so really quick here, guys. I got to share this with you before I go for the night because I was trying to tell you, buy my book. Come to my seminar. You want to meet Law Gill? Buy my book. You get Law Gill. Because you get law license, you get Law Gill. Come to my seminar. All right, so let's get into it right now because Tom Vu is going to tell you everything that you need to know about coming to the seminar. Let's do it.
To know my technique.
Hold on.
Not everyone is fortunate enough to know my techniques of how to make a lot of money.
The Tom Vu method differs from others in that his system teaches you how to make money in real estate immediately and enjoy life right away.
I know some of you are thinking, my seminar is the same like everybody else's seminar. My seminar is not the same like everybody else. My course is copyrighted. It means no one else is allowed to teach my unique course. Plus, my system can show you how to put money in your pocket in real estate right away.
Tom Vu says a key to making quick money in real estate is to know how to deal in distressed properties. He says you can locate money-making properties every day.
This is another house I just bought. It's worth $500,000. Using my own technique, I pay only $285,000. I make $215,000 in this house. What can you do with $215,000? You can take 10 trips around the world, send 4 or 5 of your kids to go to college, or you can even buy a Rolls Royce. Come to my seminar. I show you how to make
Come to my seminar. Love this guy.
Here's a secret for you to make millions. Very simple. Learn how to do your first real estate transaction. Get a small profit, and after that, don't quit. Keep repeating the same successful process many times over. You'll become very wealthy. Here's another example how easy it is you can make a lot of money. Take a look at this house, my friend. It's worth $500,000. I pick it up for $285,000, making $215,000 profit. If you can do about 10 deals like this, the way I'm about to show you, you can retire a multimillionaire. People say that I'm a genius, but I'm not smarter than anybody. I'm only a lucky boy who found a genius money-making system. In the last 5 years, many of my seminar students have applied my system and also make a lot of money. Let me take you to an actual real estate closing where you will see one of my students apply my technique about to walk away with a nice check profit. I invite you to come to my seminar, learn how to make a lot of money. Once you have a taste of a good life, you will never go back. I didn't have all this at first. I started with nothing, less than nothing. In just a few years, I made a fortune. I have everything I ever wanted. You can do the same thing too. If you know my technique to make a fortune, you don't need a credit, you don't need money, you don't even need a college degree to get started. If you have a desire,
like the robe,
guts, come to my seminar. Let me show you how.
I know lots of you out there are skeptical. In my hand, framed, is a check for $203,029.32. I net in one transaction, one deal. This is a net check.
I know after watching me and my student making a lot of money, you got excited and you want to go to my seminar to learn how to make millions yourself.
Come to my seminar.
And a lot of your friends will tell you, don't come to the seminar, it's a get-rich-quick plan. But tell them, it is a get-rich-quick plan because life is too short to get rich slow. If someone trying to discourage you, my friend, take a look at them from head to toe. If they are nothing, stay away from them. You want to learn from success, not failure.
You
come to my seminar.
You know I did it. The fact is, lots of people are making money all over the country, starting with nothing. If you don't know how, the seminar will show you exactly how.
I never forget what my grandfather told me. There are two kinds of people in life, the doer and the loser. Which one are you? Are you sick and tired of where you are, working hard for years for nothing? Are you excited about watching my student making a fortune on TV?
Buy my book.
Many of these people started out with little or no cash and no credit, no experience. Do you have a guts to step out of where you are to achieve your financial freedom? Then come to my 3 hours success and real estate investing seminar. The cover charge for this seminar is not $1,000. It's not even $500. It's not even $100. The cover charge, my friend, is free. Free. And if you're not willing to spend 3 free hours to learn from a self-made millionaire to maximize your opportunity, you deserve to be broke.
Oh my gosh, guys. That just brought back some great memories. I don't know if you guys remember Tom Vu, but he was like... So I was one of these guys, you know, who would always be watching the UHF channels, like Wally George. Wally! Well, you guys remember Wally George? Does anybody remember Wally George? Did you guys... Hello is for suckers, right on. Did you guys ever... Did any of you guys ever watch the Wally George show? I gotta know. I mean, I gotta know, because, you know, it's coming now. It's coming, guys. Come on, somebody tell me. Wally George, yes or no? Who watched the Wally George show? Admit it. So Wally George, his daughter was the she was the girl who was in the Ferrari with Tom Cruise. You remember her? Remember her, guy? Wally. Remember Wally George? So I actually went and saw him at KDOC Studios. And I wore the Ray-Ban glasses because everybody wore the Ray-Ban glasses in the audience. Do you guys remember him? Here, let's check him out.
You are a blasphemous scumbag, pervert, freako, lunatic. You're out of here.
Wally George, remembering the hot seat, Saturday at 8 on LA 56.
He was so awesome, man. I loved Wally. Let's see if we can find any other ones on here to watch. Let's check it out. Wait. It was called the hot seat. Let's check one of them out.
Hitler promised peace. Hitler promised peace for Europe through strength. Did he deliver peace?
Are you comparing Hitler to Ronald Reagan, the President of the United States?
If the shoe fits.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
If the shoe fits.
Are you saying are you saying Ronald Reagan is like Adolf Hitler?
I would have to say that on the ideological spectrum, President Reagan is closer to Adolf Hitler than he is to Karl Marx.
USA, you're out of here.
People like this who are a danger to this country. Because, David, as you pointed out, and as we have tried to point out, we must be superior to the Soviet Union because, as you know, David, the only thing that will stop them from launching a nuclear attack is to know that we could annihilate them if they do.
That's
Am
true.
I right?
Absolutely. I'd sleep a lot
David
easier
Kennedy.
tonight if I thought we had superiority rather than the other side.
That's right. And I'll tell you, America is number one, and it will stay number one. I'll be right back.
I was in that audience with Ray-Bans. I was there. And Wally was the man.
Give me a hand.
Well, Doctor, I'm sure that you appreciate this warm welcome, right? Yeah, okay. Dr. Callahan, the author of the 5-Minute Phobia Cure, correct? Now, first of all, Doctor, you are a doctor, right? First of all, I can't believe that you can state or that you could possibly cure a phobia in 5 minutes. Do you believe that?
Look at the Ray-Bans. Look.
How can you possibly claim to cure a phobia in 5? How can you do that?
Well, I don't claim it, Wally. I realize that it stretches the imagination to believe that it's possible. I've been all over the country on radio and television. It's a matter of public record. I cure lifelong phobics, no matter how severe, in a few minutes, and I've treated 5 of them while I was waiting to go on the air.
Last night I read your book, and you claim some outrageous things. Hold it, gang. You claim outrageous things like you can pound your eye, knock your eye.
That's right, Blackman.
Tap on your finger.
So Blackman makes a powerful argument here. Morton Downey Jr. stole Wally George's show. No question about it. But Morton Downey Jr. sucked compared to Wally. Wally was the original. I loved seeing this guy. I saw him at the KDOC studios, and he was the father of the girl who was the hot chick that was in Risky Business with Tom Cruise. That was his daughter. And she was so freaking hot, man. And everybody would make fun of him for having such a hot daughter. And she's a porn star, whatever. She wasn't, but I think her name was like Rebecca De Mornay. I could be totally wrong. It's been long, guys. My brain is not what it once was. But gosh, it was just the best, man. We'll keep watching it, and we'll close it out. But I'm just grateful that I have an audience here. You guys kind of keep me motivated, keep me having a good time. And as you can see, I'm definitely not a typical lawyer. I'm just trying to have fun, guys. You know, life is short, and I have a lot of great memories from Orange County and California before the communist Marxists took over and destroyed our state. And this is part of those great memories. Let's keep watching.
And that's going to cure a phobia? Do you really mean that?
Yes.
Come on. Now, hold on. First of all, would you please explain to me, Doctor, what is in this book? You have the eyes closed tapping cure. What is that?
Yeah, I'm working with the energy system, Wally. It comes out of the field of a lot of research done in the area of chiropractic.
But what is the eyes closed tapping cure?
The eyes closed, when you close your eyes, you're accessing relatively more of the front of the brain than the back of the brain.
Yeah.
What I'm doing when I'm treating phobics And there's never been a treatment as powerful as the Callahan treatment, ever.
But Dr. Callahan, so here you say in your book here, it says you close your eyes, you tap the back of your hand 35 times, and your phobia is cured. What do you think of that? I mean, doctor, I hate to tell you this. I hate to tell you this, but that sounds ridiculous to me.
I'm aware that it sounds ridiculous, and that's why I welcome the opportunity to demonstrate this, the most powerful treatment of all time.
All right, wait a minute. Now, my good friend, David Kennedy has a phobia he's had for years. See if you can cure him. David, tell the doctor what your phobia is.
You think you can cure my phobia here in 5 minutes?
What is it?
My phobia is that I don't believe in psychologists.
Now, Dr. Callahan, do you believe if he closes his eyes and taps the back of his hand 35 times, he'll believe in psychologists?
No, but if he'll be open to facts and will question the people that I've treated, took an average in 2.5 minutes, 5 people here. I don't know if they're all here now, but some of them are here. In fact, if we have enough time, I'll try to treat somebody right now.
No, we don't have the time, but I'll...
See, give me a chance and I'll show you.
How much time we got, Oscar? Well, 5 minutes. The 5-minute phobia cure. You also have something here that is called the humming cure. You hum out loud, and you sing any song, and you tap your hand, and you're cured. Is that true?
Well, each one of the things you're mentioning is one of the treatments. For example, when you hum, you're activating the right portion of your brain. When you do arithmetic, the left portion of your brain.
Let me do something. Let me tell you something about your 5-minute phobia cure. I'm going to practice what you say. I am now going to close my eyes. I'm going to tap my hand, and I'm going to tell you, here's what you can do with your 5-minute phobia cure.
You're out of here! You're out of here! Oh man, that was great. He was the best, man. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing his theme song. Wally George was the best. So hopefully you guys like that. Okay, so let me see here. I have Deborah says that Arnold Horshack. Yeah, that was Welcome Back, Kotter. Yeah, that was a good show too. See, that was when we only had like 13 regular channels, and then all the public access stuff was UHF. So the regular channels were VHF, and then the public access channels were UHF. That was it. And there was no cable, there was no YouTube, there were no cell phones, none of that stuff. That was just not. That's not something that you would see. And now, Life Under the Microscope says that I'm going to be awarded a digital, I guess an award or something. Oh, that's pretty cool. I hope I do, because that book took me forever. By the way, if you guys want to pick up a copy of my book, it's $19.99. It's my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and you can come to my seminar. Like Tom Vu, you want to meet law Gil? Come to my seminar. That was hilarious seeing Tom Vu. So we learned later, allegedly, that Tom Vu, what he was doing is he was renting these Rolls Royces, and he was paying a bunch of stripper chicks to show up and shoot these videos, and the guy made a fortune doing these. Come to my seminar. You want me at La Gil? But look, if it wasn't for the Vietnam War, we would have never known Tom Vu, because I believe he was a refugee from Vietnam, and he pursued the American dream. And what a trip it was, guys, to see those homes that would sell for like $3 or $4 million now. You know, $500,000, $400,000. And by the way, that Rolls Royce was pretty cool. You know, I wouldn't mind having that same model Rolls Royce today, even if it was used. I think that was a cool one. Give me a bunch of ones for Tom Vu's Rolls Royce. That was a cool Rolls Royce. So, guys, I went way longer than I wanted to. I know I'm going to get yelled at. But 3 hours, guys. Give me a bunch of ones for my 3-hour show. I didn't even get a single super chat. I didn't even get a super sticker. So that tells you guys that I'm not doing this for the money. I'm just trying to have a good time. I really love you guys. Cops are 5150. MacGyver was awesome. By the way, what was the one? Firefox? What? No, wait, that was the Clint Eastwood movie. The one with the helicopter, with Jan Michael Vincent. My God, what a cool show that was. What a completely cool show. You're welcome, James. What was it called? You know what I'm talking, the helicopter. Man, it was just the best. And Airwolf, yes, Airwolf was so cool, man. What a cool show. I love Jan Michael Vincent, and then I found out later that he just became a hardcore alcoholic, and that's why he stopped doing the show. And then Grizzly Adams was another cool one. Allegedly, he ended up, I guess he was a cokehead, and his face caught on fire, and he got facial burns, and that's why they stopped the show. That's what I heard, because he was having one of those drinks that had the fire in it, and he had this big beard, and I guess it like really burned him really bad. That's what I heard. Don't know if it's true, but I remember that. And then BJ McKay, and this is his best friend, Bear. Remember that guy, BJ McKay, BJ and the Bear? Right on, Bruce. Thanks, bro. So Bruce just threw me a $5, and I'm going to share this with y'all. Bruce just gave me a $5 super sticker. Hey guys, you know, it's so weird to like look at myself and know that like it feels like yesterday that I was just a kid. And you know, it's so cool to be sharing this with you guys, like Wally George and BJ McKay and his best friend Bear. And I think Brick knows where I'm coming from, man. Well, just know that Team MPE, we're all still young at heart. It was yesterday to me, guys. We're still young. And that's why I get up early to do my lawyer workouts with you guys. So if you guys have watched my lawyer workouts, I get up and I'll go to the park and I'll do a little show. I'll talk on my phone about the law or about something that's interesting that you might like. But more than anything, I'm trying to motivate you guys to stay in shape, because I want you guys to live long lives and be healthy for your kids and for your wives and stuff, you know, or your husbands if you're a woman. But it's mainly the dudes, because I know you guys are the workhorses. From my generation, I understand that the men provide for their families and that the women are the ones who give love and care to their families. And that's a symbiotic relationship. Before the administrative state took over and tried to convince women that they're men and men that they're women and all that, we had a standard that we lived by. And that's how it was for thousands of years until Sleepy Joe got into power. And I like that old model. It was really nice to have a loving mother. And give me a bunch of ones if you had a loving mother and you had a father who was always working. You know what I'm talking about. So really, really cool. I really, really appreciate you guys supporting my channel. And and Deborah Rogers is going to binge me tonight. I appreciate that, Deborah. If you go to my channel, here, I'll show you. I'll show you, because I think that a lot of the people are just going to like me for the cool stuff that I do. Okay, so we're over here. So if you go to my channel, by the way, if you want to buy my ebook, you just click on this where it says more and you scroll down and you can get it for $19.99. Even if you don't want to read it, get it, because it's really inspiring, because it talks about my journey to becoming a practicing lawyer with no law degree or undergrad, and that's a pretty amazing story. And then if you go down here you have home, videos. Let me blow it up some more so you can have some fun. So make sure you can see me. Okay. So it says home, video, shorts, and live. If you go to live, scroll down a little bit, you'll see like this morning I did a lawyer workout. Here, I'll play some of it for you. What the hell?
For a few seconds, right?
Hold on.
All right.
Like 5 in the morning.
So I got off to a little late start today. Gonna try to get a little bit of a lawyer workout in.
Lawyer workout.
I didn't bring my special little TV. Hopefully somebody's around this morning.
That's me this morning, guys, working out. There's no excuse.
All right. So today we're going to get a little bit of a lawyer workout in. It's about 05:44, and it is cold out here. Beautiful day in Summerlin. What's going on, Jody? So the other day I had a buddy of mine refer me a slip and fall case, and I wanted you guys to understand how difficult those cases are, especially when the stars don't line up. So a lot of you guys may or may not know, I'm a lawyer licensed in California and Texas. But I also do, some civil rights, and I got my start in appellate law and criminal law.
All right,
but
so
my
I don't want to bore you too much, but you can watch my lawyer workout, and then I want to get you to my actual workout where you can see me getting crazy. All right, so here I go. I'm at the park, right? It's like 5 a.m, almost 6. The sun's still down. Check it out. Here I am. Jungle gym. Barely see me. Pull-ups. Hurrah! Motivation. Well, I got to put my cover on, man. I'm getting motivated right now. Freaking ooh, roll. Yeah. So you guys should be doing this every day, man. 3 days a week minimum. Get out there, get in shape, exercise, do what you got to do.
Well, hopefully you guys saw that. So that is the equivalent of a reverse row, but upside down and vertical. And that is one of the best ways to build that back muscle. And you can see I'm just doing it at a playground, at a public park. So you don't always have to go to Powerhouse Gym or whatever. Yeah, hoorah. And then,
all right, so Bruce, really quick, man, I'm with you, brother. So having a workout room at home, you're not going to use it. I had thousands of dollars worth of workout equipment at my last house in Redondo Beach, and we never used any of that crap. The only way you're going to exercise is to get your ass out of the house and work out. And that could be like, I have a membership at Powerhouse, and I train at Powerhouse on the weekends. But during the week, because I'm a lawyer and I'm so busy, it's like I feel guilty about getting in my truck and driving to the gym. So what do? I just get out. I get my phone out because I'm figuring, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my phone. I'm going to do a live because that at least like I'll have an audience and like it'll motivate me somehow to work out. And I'll do like a little legal breakdown about something and I'll go and work out. And I'll film my workout for you guys. And there's this dude that walks his dog, this Japanese dude, to the park right around the same time. I've never ever seen him work out, but the last couple of times I've been filming, I've told him, hey, I'm doing my podcast, whatever, and I filmed it. If you watch the one I did this morning, the dude's over there doing push-ups. So what I'm getting at is it rubs off, guys. If you're out there and you're motivated, and we're hurting animals. People see you and they like and trust you. It rubs off. It's positive energy, and you're gonna motivate other people to improve their lives too. So get out there and exercise, take care of yourselves, work out, even if it's just 3 days a week. And you don't have to go to the gym, like you can see in my lawyer workout videos that I do, and you go to my live streams and you'll look at them. You can use the monkey bars. I do another one where I go on the slide with my feet elevated at the top end of the slide and do push-ups. And I'm telling you guys, I mean, look, I'm no joke. Like I can bench press right now about 275, and that's just on the weekends from doing bench on the weekends. But I keep my strength up by doing push-ups, by doing stretching, and I do a little bit of a judo, a little bit of my judo katagames at the park, and just keep staying limber, and it's just awesome. So it's something y'all should think about. Anyways, guys, I know it's getting late, and you guys back east, it's probably super late. It's probably like 11 o'clock at night. But I just want to go ahead and thank everybody for joining me. I'll start with Life Under the Microscope. Thanks, Life Under the Microscope, for always promoting my channel and being a loyal buddy. And I did send you your ebook today, and you overpaid me, so I owe you, dude. You didn't have to do that. It's appreciated. I know my wife appreciates it a lot. But for me, I do these shows because I really do care about people, and I want you to have a good time. And remember the good old days, right? Bruce, I really appreciate you joining me. I know it's got to be cold there. So I'm in Summerlin, Nevada right now. This morning it was had to be like freaking 20 degrees, man. I mean, my hands are still sore, but I did it. And then David, you're right. 20 minutes a day, you'll see improved range of motion. That's right, bro. Mias Tarot, I think it's a great way. Obviously, you want to live in a carry state because you always want to carry wherever you are. especially if you're a woman. I don't recommend that any woman goes outside of her house alone unless she's accompanied by, at a minimum, Smith & Wesson, okay? Don't, get your concealed carry. Our government has flooded this country with over 20 million illegals. Many of them are convicts who escaped from jails or were let loose from prisons in places like Venezuela or Nicaragua, a communist country that hates us, and they're just flooding across our borders. So be very Haiti, like people that no, you women do not go outside unless you're armed. Dakota Miller, don't lawyer workouts involve feet on the desk and counting bank balances? Well, I'll be honest with you. Counting bank balances is something that I've always been good at because I'm a good lawyer. But no, feet on the desk was not something for me, brother. I've always trained my butt off throughout my life, whether it's judo or Muay Thai, and staying in shape, going to the gym. It's always part of my lifestyle. I love it. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've got pretty broad shoulders. I'm a pretty strong dude. I'm not bragging. It's part of my lifestyle, and I recommend you do it too. And then Nightbot, I'm getting rid of you, dude. You keep timing out my favorite guests. And then What's the Matter? You, love you, brother. Thank you for joining me. And Deborah, you're a new one. You're going to be getting a wrench pretty soon. You are awesome, girl. Let me see. Let's keep going. Bruce R, yes. Cops are 5150. Dude, that was a badass video. Keep sending me stuff like that. Guys, send me videos of stuff you want me to do lawyer breakdowns of. I'll do that all the time for you. Let me see here. Gary Elvert. Yeah, got one from Austin. Well, Gary, hey, brother, I am a Texas lawyer. And so if you ever get in a car accident or a truck accident, get run over on your bicycle, I am the guy you call. All right. That's what I do for a living. That's how I support my wife and kids. Other than not making any money on YouTube and spinning my wheels, that's pretty much what I do. Captain Brian E. Cooper, I'm hoping you're a Marine. If so, freaking Semper Fi, do or die, brother. James Forbes, you went ahead and you got your private first class chevrons tonight. Everybody give me a bunch of ones for James Forbes. He is a member of my inner circle now, where he gets access to all my videos that I don't have displayed publicly for the regular folks. And let me see here. Who else do I got that I can thank? Dragon F, thanks, brother, for joining my channel tonight. And Bruce R, thanks for the $5, dude. That was awesome. And What's the Matter? You, thank you for reminding me of Airwolf, man. I'm going to watch an old Airwolf episode tonight before I go to bed. I love that show, man. Airwolf, to me, I thought Jan Michael Vincent was the man. Give me a bunch of ones for Jan Michael Vincent, guys. He was awesome. And let's see who else I can thank. Blackman 903. Hell yeah, man. He watched yeah, I remember that too, Blackman 903. I remember back then we had to go to the seedy hotel just so we could watch those movies. Like $60 and you can watch those movies all night. Like back then, they didn't just have it for free on your cell phones, right? That was a big deal. Of course, you'd never tell your parents because they disown you back then, right? Because that kind of stuff was absolutely no. And then Christie's God, thank you for joining me tonight. Let me see here. Let me see. Who else do I got? I've got almost 50,000 views tonight, guys. Hey, make sure to double tap that screen. And when the show is over with, go to the regular comments because all these sidebar comments don't show up publicly. Please, guys, give me some love. Like, go and make comments. Save my videos, all of them. Save all of them to your favorites. I try to do 2-3 hour videos. So if you're out traveling, cruising around, you're a big rig trucker, listen to my stuff, Most of the stuff you don't have to watch, just listen. But always press that save button. That gives me a lot of love with the search engine algorithms. Let me see who else we got here. See, Michael Rice, Wally. I love Wally George, bro. That was the best, man. I mean, weren't the 80s like the best time ever in the early 90s? You'll never get anything like that again. I mean, that was just a priceless time to be an American, right, guys? Give me a bunch of ones for the 80s, guys, when we were still somewhat innocent. Yeah. And Mini-Me, thank you for joining. Yeah, me too, Mini-Me. Used to watch Wally. Wally was the best, man. I miss that guy. Ghost.
Richard Coates, thank you guys for joining me. And again, send me videos that you guys want to watch or want me to do lawyer breakdowns of. I know I kind of fell off my normal routine, but I started doing the Tombu, come to my seminar, and I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. So guys, again, thanks for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to save, because you never know when the thought police are going to take down this channel. Semper Fi, do or die. I'll talk to you guys soon.